Bakersfield, California, now over. The suspect, who was holding an unknown number of people and threatening to detonate a bomb, was shot and killed by an FBI agent on the scene. All of the hostages are free and no one else was harmed. The Supreme Court giving the go-ahead to allow a congressional map in Alabama that was previously struck down for intentionally discriminating against black voters. ABC's Devin Dwyer has more on the three liberal justices who dissented.
Strong words from Justice Sonia Sotomayor, joined by the others. She said that the court did unleash chaos because it's so close to the election. In fact, Alabama has already had its primary vote. The governor saying overnight that she is now scheduling a new special primary in August 11th, for these new districts that are going to be implemented.
Primaries in a handful of states last night, including California, where Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass will advance to a runoff. This is ABC News. Trump loyalist Bill Pulte, who currently runs the Federal Housing Finance Agency, was this week tapped to be the new director of national intelligence, even though ABC's Catherine Falders in Washington reports that many on both sides of the aisle are questioning his qualifications.
Sources who I've spoken to for a long time in this administration have said they don't believe he's qualified for the Federal Housing Finance Agency, now let alone to lead the DNI, to be the nation's top spy chief. So to bring you back a little bit here, Bill Pulte is really best known for launching or issuing criminal referrals in the Trump administration's probes as it relates to mortgage fraud.
One of the last remaining classic urban department stores is closing for good. The flagship Neiman Marcus location opened in downtown Dallas in 1914. Saks Global acquired Neiman's in 2024 and has decided it'll shutter it for good this year. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
A massive fire is now under control in the Redmond area, but first, let's get a check on the roads right now. Just as we cleared the crash on southbound 405 and 85th in Kirkland, yet another one. This is near Linwood, right before the express toll lane starts. 2 left lanes are blocked. It'll take you about an hour and 20 minutes from Linwood down to Bellevue, about 50 minutes Linwood to Seattle. That's running at least 20 minutes behind schedule. Renton to Bellevue, about 45 minutes. The Valley Freeway is under 45 minutes right now, and it's about 55 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. And this traffic report is brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Investigators are looking into a large fire that burned 15 vehicles and 2 large buildings at a landscaping company near Redmond this morning. A spokesperson for Fire, Eastside Fire and Rescue, tells KIRO 7 TV crews had to work around a weak fire hydrant at the scene along Redmond Fall City Road.
The water pressure wasn't really what we needed to fight the fire, so they had to bring in water to the scene, which slows down a firefight.
The 15 vehicles burned look to be mostly work trucks. No firefighters were injured. There's no word yet on a cause of the fire. Kent police are investigating the death of a young woman found early this morning. Officers responded around 4:20 to the 400 block of Alder Lane after reports of gunfire and discovered a woman unconscious with injuries to her face and head. Detectives have not yet confirmed whether she was shot or died from another cause. A long vacant downtown Seattle storefront is back in business after being boarded up for 6 years. The Downtown Seattle Association opened a new hub for its clean and safe ambassadors at 3rd and Pine. This is DSA President John Scholes.
In a lot of ways, this is the lobby of our city. It's the 50-yard line, and downtown's everybody's neighborhood.
The so-called mid-deployment center arrives less than 2 weeks before the World Cup brings an estimated 700,000 visitors. Pierce County detectives need your help finding the man they say pulled the trigger in the Parkland robbery murder of 17-year-old Braylon Diaz on May 24th. Deputy Carly Capetto says they're searching for the 21-year-old named Brandon Torres Mesa, who is Hispanic, 6 feet tall, and believed to be armed.
We essentially identified him via ring cameras, video surveillance, interviews from many of the people around and involved that were at that scene.
There is a photograph of Tessa Mesa on our website, mynorthwest.com. Meanwhile, the News Tribune reports 26-year-old Alyssa Marie Vault-Barr was in court just yesterday. She's charged with first-degree murder, as is Brandon Torres Mesa. At her arraignment, her bail was set at $1 million. Prosecutors believe she was the driver. Vault-Barr's boyfriend was also arrested in connection with the killing, but so far, he has not been charged. A new Ben & Jerry's scoop shop is coming to Seattle's revamped waterfront.
Ice cream, chillin', chillin', ice cream, chillin'.
According to the Seattle Times, the shop will open at Pier 54, returning as a pop-up this summer before launching as a full storefront. The new shop replaces Premier Meat Pies and joins a growing lineup of waterfront ice cream spots, including Molly Moon's, which opened last year, and Salt and Straw, now across from the Pike Place Market. And now to your weather. It's going to be much cooler today. Highs will only get close to 70. Right now, we're sitting at 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO Newsradio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday to you. Thank you for listening to hanging out with us, all the good stuff. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. Hey, coming up at 9:30, it's not often that I can say I have a new hero, but I do have a new hero, and his name is Scott Pelley. If you haven't heard, he has been fired from CBS's 60 Minutes, and he's not taking it lightly. And we're going to talk about that coming up, G, and why what happened was a huge blow in so many different ways. As always, we invite you to join us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO.
Let's get to it. Top stories of the day brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Is Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson ignoring the law and putting World Cup security at risk? Councilmember Bob Kettle thinks so. He says the mayor does not have the authority to pause Seattle's voter-approved expansion of police surveillance cameras.
I believe that she is not operating according to the ordinances, the law, and her duties under the charter.
In a letter to the mayor, Kettle argues that the city ordinance only allows a pause under very specific circumstances involving immigration enforcement or the misuse of surveillance data. And he says none of those conditions exist right now. The mayor has expressed concerns about privacy, and she doesn't want Seattle to become a surveillance state. And she says the cameras are only going to be activated if there is a credible threat. Councilmember Kettle tells KOMO 4 News that is backwards.
You don't get credible threat warning. The mayor of Atlanta did not get it in the Summer Olympics in '96. The mayor of Boston did not get it in the 2013 Boston Marathon. Just a month ago at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, the Secret Service didn't get a credible threat warning that some guy was going to run through the hallways with a weapon. This idea that you're going to get a credible threat warning is not right. It's not the professional standard.
And Kettle says if something goes wrong during the World Cup, which, should we remind you, starts 10 days from now, he says responsibility will rest with the mayor's decision.
I just said this, and if you're listening right now, you heard me say this about 10 minutes ago on Seattle's Morning News, and I'm going to say it in a different way this time. My analogy, Ursula, is have you ever been in a situation where you had this friend that said that she was not going to date this guy anymore, and she's told you over and over again she's not going to date the guy? Well, she's dating the guy, but she just doesn't want to tell you that she's dating the guy. And matter of fact, she keeps it from you for a long time until eventually you find out. My point is this. Katie Wilson told her base, she told her supporters, she told them, a lot of people that support Katie Wilson, hey, I am not going to do the thing with the cameras. CCTV is not going to be under my watch. And by the way, I want to just say this, while I understand why people have had concern about the cameras, because a camera can sometimes be like a hammer. A hammer can be used to build a house, and a hammer can also be used to bust out windows in a house. So cameras in the wrong situation can be bad. But in this situation where you have, this is one of 11 cities where the World Cup is going to be. One of 11 cities, and the only city that doesn't have the cameras
Thank you.
rolling. So with that being said, I said it yesterday, I said it this morning, and I'm going to say it again.
You think she's going to cave?
She specifically say, in case there is until there's a credible threat, only will call it if it's a credible threat. Somehow, some way, I have a feeling before June 15th, those cameras are going to come on.
I hope so. I hope you are correct. And I think Councilmember Kettle is correct to call her out. And as you said, the cameras can be used to either build a house or break the windows. And because of that, when the city council passed this ordinance for those cameras, they explicitly wrote protections into the law to safeguard the city against those things. Mm-hmm. In the event of a federal breach, or when it comes to immigration enforcement, or reproductive health, or gender affirming care. I mean, those things were actually specifically written into the law. Mm-hmm. So if the mayor is doing what you're saying, and she's going to come up with something that would pass as a credible threat, then stop playing games. But in this case, we look like fools being the only city that's going to host the World Cup, and we and cameras that we have already approved and are ready to go are still shut down, even though the police chief has said this would be very, very helpful.
It's political theater, right?
It's ridiculous.
And I think that none of us, especially most of us listening right now, we don't like political theater being played in this situation. I don't like political theater being played here. As a matter of fact, I don't like political theater being played in a lot of topics that we deal and talk about. This is why it's not a game and it's not fun. Stop, put country and people before your politics. If we can get back to that, then we won't be in these situations. But I know that based on who Katie Wilson is, people want to they don't like Katie Wilson, so they want to come out and say that. It doesn't matter about whether you like her or not. I do believe, and I think you're saying the same thing, Ursula. Can we just get the cameras on?
Yeah, common sense. How about that? And I hate the fact that the mayor is such a big part of our top stories, but here's another story. Because at a time when Seattle residents are already paying some of the highest sales taxes in the country, Mayor Katie Wilson is proposing another increase. So she wants to double Seattle's transit sales tax from 0.15 to 0.3% and lock it in for a longer time, for the next 10 years. And she says this money would pay for additional bus service, subsidized Orca cards, Seattle streetcars, and even help support future light rail expansion programs.
When we make our transit system better, we make it possible for more households to live car-free or car-light. And that could put hundreds or thousands of dollars back into a family's budget. That is real affordability.
Okay, the city estimates this tax would generate about $138 million a year. If the city council approves the proposal, voters will decide its fate this November.
I wrote this down. We don't have a state income tax in the state of Washington. So how does the state get money? It gets money off of receipts. It gets money off of sales tax. A sales tax, usually, they don't care who you are, is a flat 10.7%. We've talked about it. You all know that this area is one of the most backwards, regressive tax systems in the country. Now, the mayor wants to double the transit deal, that tax. A two-person household that's making $124,000 a year, that comes out to $58 a year. That's how much you're going to be paying. I don't know that you're probably going to feel that. You probably won't. But here's what's interesting. I'm actually not mad about this, because I'm not mad because at least the money is going right back. At least the money, Route 60, it says, every 15 minutes in White Center, Georgetown, Beacon Hill, more buses on Aurora, 22,000 low-income Orca cards. So the same family that people say, hey, we care about them being taxed so much, that family now can finally don't have to get the second car. They can go ahead and get the Orca cards. They can have a family of 4 or 5 or 6 living in the same house and be able to take advantage of that. So, no, I don't love this system. where the lower tax bracket gets taxed more than others. I can't stand it. But if we're going to be paying it and we're going to be doing it either way, I hope that a family that gets taxed the most gets the most help with this. So with this one, Katie, I'm for it.
I'm not. And I just want to remind you that during her campaign, Katie Wilson made a pitch to voters over and over and over again.
We're out here on Capitol Hill. This is my neighborhood, and I just bought this slice of pizza. It cost me $8.
Yeah, it cost her $8. And look around. Families are still getting squeezed by housing costs, groceries, utility bills, insurance premiums, taxes. Businesses are leaving downtown. Office towers are selling at massive losses. Public confidence in city government, particularly her office, is at an all-time low. And her answer is, let's double the transit sales tax, a tax that every working family pays, a tax that makes things, even if it's not a lot, but it's in addition to everything else that we're paying more taxes for. I mean, every time she opens her mouth, I am reminded of how experienced she is. And it feels like, in my opinion, she is still campaigning as president of the Transit Riders Union instead of governing as mayor of Seattle. And again, now we want to double the transit sales tax over a longer period of time. And for what? To expand transit service when ridership is still below where it was before the pandemic? I mean, if the buses are overflowing and people are getting left at the curb, that's one thing. But that's not the problem that we're hearing about. So personally, I hope the city council kills this proposal. And if they don't, I hope voters do, because I will be voting no in November. Okay, we need to go down to Pierce County. A pregnant woman is now charged with murder. A convicted felon with a history of drive-by shootings has been arrested. And now detectives say they have identified the guy that they believe pulled the trigger in the Parkland robbery that left a 17-year-old dead. The Pierce County Sheriff's Office has named 21-year-old Brandon Torres Mesa as the third suspect in the killing of Braylon Diaz. And Torres Mesa is still on the run this morning at last check. And detectives say there were 4 people inside that car that pulled up to Braylon and his girlfriend while they were just walking one night. And after Braylon handed over a necklace, prosecutors say he was shot and killed. So there are 2 other suspects already behind bars. Alyssa Vaught Barr, who is pregnant. She was arrested Monday up in Tulalip. Again, like I said, she's facing a first-degree murder charge. She may have tried to protect others and interfere with the investigation, according to investigators. Another suspect was arrested during a traffic stop. He has 6 prior felony convictions, including a drive-by shooting conviction, and he was on escape status from Oregon when he was arrested. And then the person who still hasn't been caught is supposed to be armed and dangerous, and anyone who sees him should call 911.
My dad used to say all the time, show me who your friends are and I'll show you where you're going. And when he dropped me off at school, he'd ask me the same question. I think I've told you all this. He would ask me if I was a leader or a follower. And the reason why that was ingrained in me so much is because there's 2 words that can send you to prison for a long time. There's a word called accessory. Right? You could be charged with accessory to murder, even if you don't pull the trigger, right? And then there's a word called in the drug game, they really love to put the conspiracy. They love to put that on there as well. So what I'm saying is what happened was that the couple, they get rounded up, they find out who it is, that couple get to talking. You guys have seen 48 Hours and all the different crime shows. You know what happens when they sit there in front of the detectives and they get to singing. And they get the pregnant lady that was driving, she probably got to singing. And it's like, this is exactly who the person was that shot the person. Now, people are going to ask, well, okay, so what does that mean? If you didn't shoot, what does that mean if you were in the car? You know what that means? That means you definitely should go to prison. Because this is what you need to understand. Show me who your friends are, and I'll show you where you are going. This is what happens. I, myself, have been into, I don't want to get too deep, but I've been in some situations where some friends have done some dumb things. I got lucky that those dumb things didn't pan out to be something very catastrophic, but maybe you're listening right now. You've been around some friends that have done some dumb things. You're like, hey, man, you better not do that again. Well, this right here, you can't take this back. And so now I hope they catch this person, this alleged suspect. I hope they catch them. And this is a very unfortunate story because a 17-year-old young man lost his life for nothing, lost his life for a gold chain. So, everybody in the car, I don't care. You need to be tabbed with a murder charge right there on your head. Show me who your friends are, and I'll show you where you're going.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the family says all of this for a $10 necklace. They're accused of killing an innocent young man for a $10 necklace. He's gone, and if these suspects are convicted, they will be gone for a long time, if not the rest of their lives. And one of the suspects, the accessory alleged, is pregnant. So now this baby who has not even had it, I mean, you've basically given that baby a sentence too. The baby will be placed with family members or an approved guardian after birth. But again, I mean, deprived of a mom over something so stupid, so senseless. Okay, we need to cheer up a little bit because something really cool is happening with our Seattle Mariners. For the first time all season, they are playing the kind of baseball that has fans believing that this team can really do something special. Remember where we were about a month ago? So now Seattle has won 8 straight games. They're on top of the American League West after back-to-back wins over the New York Mets at T-Mobile Park. The latest victory, 8-3 win, powered by home runs from Julio, Patrick Wisdom, and Johnny Pereda.
2-2 to Pereda. Swing and a well-hit ball. Deep to left field. Soto going back, looking up. Goodbye, baseball. Johnny Pereda with his second home run as a Seattle Mariner. A 3-run home run here in the bottom of the 5th. And it's now the Mariners 7 and the Mets 2.
I was at the ballpark yesterday. That's 8 in a row for the Mariners. 8 ball, baby. It was beautiful. But there's a couple things that stands out to me about being there last night. Number one, watching. Man, I'm not just saying this. Watching them, they had a different aura about themselves. And in the beginning of the season, I wasn't seeing them having fun out there in between innings and all that kind of stuff. It really seemed good. That's number one. But obviously, everything's good when you're winning. Number two, man, I'm telling you right now, T-Mobile Park is, boy, that thing is, they got the food, they got the energy, they got everything is set up right there. This is what happens when you, watch this, when you lose for so long, like the Mariners did, not making it to the playoffs, there's other areas in life or in the ballpark that you make good on. And now that the Mariners are doing well, it's all like magic because, man, the game presentation for the Mariners is second to none. And I'm not just saying that. It's just beautiful.
Yes.
It was a beautiful night at the ballpark.
Perfect night.
Oh, yeah, it was.
I mean, get real.
Yeah.
That was it late sunset.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, it was.
So that must have been
nice.
pretty darn incredible. And Nick can weigh in too. I mean, they're doing this, right, because they've got injuries still. But they've been putting players in and out of the lineup and somehow managing to get on a streak. And Barry in the 253, I see you. He says, I told you all, calm down. Still lots of games to go.
Hey, you're right. Nick, before we go, man, Nick, you tell me what you see with this team, man.
Well, there's just ebbs and flows in baseball, and right now these guys are just in a groove, and ironically, they started to get a kick into the season, starting to win when Cal Raleigh got injured. And I think that's kind of an underlying tone for the team where it might not necessarily have been him that was a detriment to the clubhouse, but it's other guys who have been able to get the opportunity to step up and show what they've got. You got Johnny Pereda behind the dish, hitting a couple home runs lately. And then they got that young guy, Colt Emerson, who just came up from Tacoma, who's playing third base. He's been on fire lately, so maybe he's been giving a little spark for the clubhouse lately.
It goes to show you there is no I in team, baby. I'm glad you brought up the Cal Raleigh reference. Coming up next here on the show, we do need to talk about the cost of living. What did you and your family or you yourself cheap out on? What were you stingy on then that you're probably still stingy on now? Up next, CBS fires another one. We'll tell you about it next. Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional grade products you need to get the job done. With fast delivery you can depend on and access to technical product experts ready to help you meet any challenge. Call, click Grainger.com or just stop by.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
I just can't dig it.
Dig what?
My water line.
Needs replacing?
And I don't want digging in my yard.
And maybe your driveway.
Can't dig it.
Don't dig it.
But how do you?
Apollo Plumbing replaces water lines without digging up your yard.
You're Dan.
From the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Apollo Plumbing.
Our trenchless technology replaces water and sewer lines.
Without digging up my yard?
2 little holes is all it takes.
Sounds better.
Faster, too.
And my yard?
Like we were never there.
Sounds spendy.
Not so much.
Oh?
In the end, about the same as that messy digging you don't want.
How do you figure?
Think about that landscaping you love.
Yeah?
Trenchless means you won't be paying to replace it.
Or my driveway.
We run everything underground.
Trenchless?
Do them all the time.
How about...
Easy payments?
Yeah.
With approved credit. Sure thing.
When can you get started?
We are the Ready Right Now plumbers.
Love that.
Apollo Plumbing, trenchless waterline replacement.
Sewer lines, too.
Can you dig that?
That I can.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
A shot to center field. Julio is there, and Julio makes the catch!
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house, even when there's not an actual seat, because you're in the T-Mobile pen.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
The pen isn't just the perfect space to hang with your whole crew. It's where you can see Julio defend the no-fly zone 1 minute and watch Senor Smoke get ready for his big entrance the next.
Andres Munoz has simply been incredible.
Sure, the pen is standing room only, but with a team this exciting, who wants to be sitting down? Mariners baseball. Try this up.
With Mariners value games, you can score tickets under $12 on select dates all summer, including June 16th through 18th against the Orioles. Plus, on Thursday the 18th, the first 15,000 fans will take home a Mariners Stars and Stripes soccer jersey thanks to Alaska Airlines. Get your tickets today at mariners.com. That's mariners.com. Jazz Alley invites you to experience the Brubeck Brothers Quartet, carrying forward a legendary jazz legacy with fresh energy and swing. Shows run June 2nd and 3rd. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Marcus Miller.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer. Your local Bryant dealer can make sure your system is up to the task. Whether it's maintaining your current system or installing an energy-efficient Bryant Evolution cooling system with perfect Humidity Plus technology, your dealer will give you what you need to help your family beat the heat. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at BryantNorthwest.com. That's BryantNorthwest.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A standoff with a man holding hostages at a bank building in Bakersfield, California appears to be over. Here's ABC's Alex Stone.
All of the hostages who were inside the Chase Bank building have now been safely rescued by the FBI and Bakersfield police. Since yesterday, they'd been trying to negotiate with the man who was known to have a long criminal history in the area, who went into the bank building and claimed to have a bomb strapped to his chest. On Tuesday night, he released 2 of the hostages. At one point, police could see hostages inside the building on their knees, but sources say they've all been rescued. They are safe. The suspect is dead. It is now over.
Here in Washington, investigators are looking into a large fire that burned 15 vehicles and 2 large buildings at a landscaping company near Redmond this morning. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports there were explosions at the scene, too.
A spokesperson for Eastside Fire and Rescue tells KIRO 7 TV those explosions could have been a number of things inside those 2 buildings gutted by flames just off Redmond Fall City Road.
In a building like this, fertilizer, could be gasoline, propane tanks. We're just not sure what those are.
Crews say they were dealing with a weak fire hydrant when they got to the scene, which caused delays. Those 15 vehicles burned looked to be mostly work trucks. No firefighters were injured. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
There's no word yet on the cause of the fire. The Seattle City Council voted unanimously Tuesday to approve a resolution charting next steps for the troubled King County Regional Homelessness Authority. The measure, sponsored by council members Alex Mercedes Rink and Dion Foster, gives the mayor's office until August 1st to recommend whether to restructure, dissolve, or continue the agency. This is Councilmember Rink.
As I have repeatedly stated, now is not a time for knee-jerk reactions. Our homelessness response system is already in a delicate place and needs to be handled with caution.
The 9-0 vote follows an April audit that found a negative cash position of nearly $45 million. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson unveiled a proposal to renew and expand the Seattle Transit measure, and as you might imagine, her proposal is very controversial. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch explains.
The existing Seattle Transit measure, approved by 80% of voters in 2020, funds frequent bus service, streetcar operations, and free ORCA cards for those who qualify. Mayor Wilson wants to double the city's transit sales tax from 0.15 to 0.30 per $100 purchase.
Just to maintain the level of transit service that we have been providing was going to require a larger measure anyway, because the cost of everything is going up all across the board.
The mayor expects the measure to be on the ballot for voters to decide this November. In Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And the results are in on which MLB mascot America loves the most, and Mariner Moose made the list. Researchers scored mascots on likability, crowd interaction, tradition, and online chatter. The Bovada Sportsbook survey ranks Mariner Moose at number 5. In 4th place, the Wally Green Monster. In third, Pirate Parrot. The Louis Cardinals Freebird grabbed second place, and the Philly Fanatic came in at number 1. Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Crews are on the scene of a crash there at southbound 405 near Linwood. This is right before the express toll lane starts. 2 left lanes are still blocked. It'll take you about an hour and 20 minutes from Linwood to downtown Bellevue, 50 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. Rented to Bellevue about 45. The Valley Freeway is under 40 minutes right now, and 55 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. This traffic report is brought to you by Carpet Liquidators. Why pay retail? Save big with the largest carpet and hardwood flooring selection at Carpet Liquidators. 7 locations, they got you covered. Carpet Liquidators. And for your weather, much cooler today. We'll top out at about 70 degrees. Right now, it's 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. In case you haven't heard, one of the most respected journalists in this country is now saying that the people running CBS News are destroying one of television's most trusted institutions. Longtime 60 Minutes correspondent Scott Pelley has now been fired after more than 20 years with that program, many more years as a journalist. And gee, let's just say he's not exactly going away quietly. In a blistering farewell statement, he accused CBS leadership of trying to curry favor with the Trump administration and in also abandoning the journalistic standards that made 60 Minutes what it is today. And he claims that executives even pressured him to include unverified claims in politically sensitive stories. He says CBS also invited politicians to choose which correspondents would interview them, and then fired veteran journalists, including Cheryl Atkinson, for pushing back. And he says the changes are heartbreaking, and he is basically warning of what he describes as a collapse of values at the top of the network. And as you know, Gee, this is coming at the same time as CBS's parent company, Paramount, is trying to get federal approval for a major merger.
If you're listening right now, have you ever lived in communities where gang activity was rampant? Have you ever lived in a neighborhood where you saw the gangs happen? Now, I'm not talking about what you saw on the news. I'm talking about what you grew up around, lived experience. You got to see it firsthand. And so what I want to do is I want to explain to you, because I know sometimes you guys would wonder, like, how does this gang leader have so much power? Why won't these young guys and gals leave that gang leader? Because the gang leader was really good at providing them with a couple things. One, stability, family type, that deal. So a lot of people are running from unstable family situations. 2, the most important thing, I should have put it number 1, the gang leader is able to provide them money. They make more money when they are with the gang leader than they do when they're not. So even though some things happen that's kind of bad, they turn a blind eye because they're getting money. What does this have to do with what I'm talking about? Well, we're seeing it right now. You want to kill the free press? You don't have to send the tanks. You don't have to kick the door in. All you have to do is buy the location, buy the building, and then fire everybody inside. Right now, the stock portfolios, your stock market is going crazy through the roof right now. Apple is going crazy. Nvidia is going crazy. All of the big AI stocks are going crazy. You want to know what they have in common? They're all real good with the leader of the free world. They are able to do all of these things. And right now, the press, you guys have seen it. You guys have seen the whole deal, the merger with Paramount. You've seen all of it. So we, in the past, used to talk about Russia and China and North Korea and how they had the controlled media. Well, we are living that right now. And so what I'm saying is, and the reason why I started off with the gang leader is I wanted to tell you. Somebody will say, well, gee, why? How is this not stopping? Because the gang leader makes sure that you're making money. And even if there's things that you don't like, because you're making money, you are blinded.
Well, as I mentioned before we headed into this segment, I don't say I have new heroes very often, but I would say Scott Pelley would be among them. Cheryl Atkinson being the other one. They lost their jobs. They lost their careers over fighting what they see and what they know is wrong. And they spoke up when so many people are willing to not speak up because it is benefiting them. And Scott Pelley is exactly right. He wrote in here that he said, last month, 60 Minutes lost its DNA when our entire senior leadership and two of our best on-air correspondents were cruelly fired without cause. Good people were silenced because they stood up for our audience. They stood up for fairness against the forces of political bias. They stood for professionalism against chaos. And he said, for my part, new management has instructed me to inject falsehoods and bias into a politically sensitive story. And he points out that 60 Minutes, they have fought harder than anyone knows to save the program that became an American icon. And he says we owe that to our millions of viewers. And right now, the collapse of values at the top has become untenable. The leadership of 60 Minutes is no longer recognizable. And the principles that he holds dear are gone, so he's leaving. For their part, they're saying we fired him because he showed disrespect for this new, what is it? So it's the new editor-in-chief is Barry Weiss. He accused her of murdering 60 Minutes. And then there's a newly appointed executive director, producer, Nick Bilton. And again, I mean, 60 Minutes, we've talked about this. On Sunday nights, I mean, that's just a part that is tarnished. That whole program is tarnished.
I agree with you. 60 Minutes used to be a thing. I just want to, and I'm not trying to get too deep, guys. I'm choosing joy. I'm smiling. I just want you guys to know. I just want you all to know that a lot of times what happens to people, first of all, like Ursula said, hey, Scott Pelley, hey, man, hero. Love how you took the stand. But I just want to just say this. Some people get tired. And some people just go along to get along. At some point, there's a breaking point. So sometimes when the things are stacked against you, instead of the Scotts of the world, so sometimes they come into these spaces, Ursula, and they come into these spaces and they feel like they're by themselves all the time. And then there's a lot of people in this country right now that are just like, you know what? I just need to feed my family. I don't want to cause any problems, so let me go along to get along. See, when you go along to get along, that means you're a good one. You're not causing any trouble. But then the person that doesn't sound like everybody else, that's the troublemaker. Mm-hmm. So that's what they get demonized as, the angry one, the troublemaker, when they come out and say those things. Sometimes by the way, those that follow a crowd can never be followed by a crowd. So shout out to Scott Pelley and everything that he's doing.
Yes.
Excuse me, Pelley, my bad.
And I need to make a correction. It's Sharon Alfonsi who lost her job. Oh, anyway, yeah, it's infuriating. And, as someone who has been in this business for a very long time, when you see journalists like that who are silenced, it's crushing, honestly.
Stephen A. Smith is now making $100+ million. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, we do need to talk about the cost of living. What did your family cheap out on that you're still stingy about now? Gee and Ursula.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Drivers who switch to Progressive could save hundreds just by bundling home and auto insurance, because you can't go wrong saving money. Unless you spend it on a guitar and never learn to play it but lie and say that you did. Then someone hands you a guitar at a party and asks you to play, so you decide to improvise this.
Well, don't you know that but that's not it. Dreams are fun and also good.
Yep, you can't go wrong bundling and saving money with Progressive. Well, it depends on how you spend it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
You could sleep through the night without thinking twice. You could take a seat in the middle of the theater. You could drive without worry of where the next restroom is. You used to say yes, and somewhere along the way, you stopped. Not because of one big moment, because of 100 small ones. A little more urgency, one more trip to the bathroom at 2 a.m., one more mental note about where the restroom is. It happened slowly enough that it just became you. But it's not you. It's enlarged prostate, and there's a treatment called aquablation therapy, the only ultrasound-guided robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Find an aquablation therapist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466, 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks, and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 15th, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
It is the Gee Ursula Show. Good morning to all of you. Hey, coming up at 10 o'clock, remember they said Seattle was dying. Well, the census came and dropped some receipts. So coming up next, where do y'all think Seattle ranks in the country with people moving to Seattle? We'll do that at 10 o'clock. But right now we do need to talk, and we need to talk about let's have some fun here. The rising cost of living. We talk about it all the time. And a lot of folks, especially the older generation, you guys like to point out things that you did, cost-saving things that you and your brother or your sister did. Maybe back in your day, you say, oh, back in my day, we shared underwear. Just an example. I'm not saying that you do. I mean, maybe some other habits. But what was it that your family cheaped out on back when you were growing up that you're still maybe stingy about it now? Like, it just carried with you. You never forgot it. And to this day, when you go to purchase it or buy, even though you got the money to do it, you still think about how you grew up. So it's something you might be stingy about that maybe you cheaped out on when you were younger. Ursula?
Well, a couple of things. One is I distinctly remember when we used to get milk. Now, this is living in the Philippines, and drinking milk wasn't a big thing for us growing up. But when we got milk, and I remember begging my mom for chocolate milk, and she was like, it's so expensive. It's so expensive. So I cannot look at chocolate milk without thinking, okay, that's an unnecessary expense. So I have never in my life, I don't think, purchased chocolate milk.
Okay.
The other thing that comes to mind is when I used to go to movies. Now, I don't go to movies very often, but when I used to go to movies, I would refuse to buy snacks from the snack bar.
Yeah.
Except for sometimes popcorn. Okay, it's like movie popcorn is something.
Right.
But other snacks, I would squirrel them away in my purse.
Right.
And if I were to go to a movie today, I would still do that because I
Right.
refuse to pay those inflated prices.
Right.
What about you?
So, first of all, I just want to say that I was super happy that this topic came up because the reason why is I was downstairs and I was getting ready to go through it, and I realized something. Nothing. I realized, to tell you guys the truth, growing up, I had everything. That's the truth. I'm just telling you guys straight, right? Like food stacked. As a matter of fact, you know how you go to the store and in the sodas, you grab the sodas, and then once you take one, another one comes rolling down. In my refrigerator growing up, we had that in our refrigerator.
out.
And so it was always stocked.
Yeah, we would not have soda in our fridge.
So I just wanted to just say, I had as a child growing up, my parents made sure I had everything. But then what it forced me to do, it forced me to go into, let me tell you guys about the time when I was living in hotels. That's what I could better talk about. And the one thing that stands out is down in San Diego, the Econo Lodge, there was it was $40 a night, Ursula. And so I had a little burner in there. By the way, that was dangerous. That thing, a little single burner that you plug in and you do that. And so I had the top ramen and everything. The one thing that I never bought was any drinks at all. I'd always just go and get water when you can or whatever, or I'd go to fast food establishments and ask for a cup of water and wink, wink. You know what I mean? I apologize, but that's what I did. But anyways, my point, do you know still to this day, buying drinks and different drinks and stuff from the store is still weird to me.
Oh.
Because for so long, that was where I had to do my savings.
Yeah.
Was the drinks. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like that's something that's still to this day that, like, even when we go shopping, we still don't buy a lot of drinks. It's water.
Okay, what about, because you stay at a lot of hotels, are you someone who takes the little shampoos home and all that and use those at home? Or
You must.
Not today.
But there was probably a time, right?
But between my wife and I, which one is more apt to do it? My wife. Yeah. The shampoos.
I mean, you're paying for it.
Actually, I don't think she's taking the shampoo. She's not putting that shampoo in.
They end up just getting stuffed in the bathroom drawer at the end of the day, though.
It's so true.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, text us, though. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. Kara, the cleaning lady, says, cheap haircuts. I refuse to pay more than $20 for a haircut. Probably why I'm still single.
Oh, Kara. Oh, you know another one? I think I've shared this with you guys. Draws. Remember, I still get the cheap stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I still get the cheap stuff. Yeah,
What's the cheap stuff?
I mean, the ones when you
The
get
one in the pack, the plastic pack with
chubby
6?
pack.
the ones you go to TJ Maxx. Matter of fact, my wife makes sure she gets.
That's not even cheap stuff for me. That's just regular.
You get that pack in there? You get all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Well, some of the dudes, they get the Versace.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They get the real fancy where it's $80 a pair. $80 a pair? I could go get me 6 pair for $30.
You want to know what my family cheaped out on for years when it first came out? High-speed internet and cable. That thing came out in 2000. We didn't get it till 2007. Dial up.
All right. Good stuff. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Seattle. What if I told you that Seattle ranks in the top 10 for cities with new neighbors showing up? Would you believe it? We'll talk about that next. Gee and Ursula.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you. Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org, sponsored by Washington Realtors.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack in the $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With smart business buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. Northwest News.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled Alabama can move forward to use a congressional map for the midterms from 2023 that was previously blocked by lower courts. Here's ABC's Devin Dwyer.
The bottom line is this is the culmination of years of litigation in Alabama. It is now removing one of those two majority black districts, a seat held by Democrats, and is the latest indication now that these race-based politics, including those that protect minority voters, are starting to give way to a new era.
The Pentagon says the U.S. intercepted Iranian drones targeting a U.S. base in Kuwait. Kuwait's public airport also heavily damaged. In California, a hostage standoff and bomb threat at a bank in downtown Bakersfield is over. Police say the suspect is dead. All were released, but police don't have a motive. And the U.S. Coast Guard dive team in the Bahamas searching for Lynette Hooker had to end early today due to lightning. The Michigan woman disappeared in April. Her husband says she fell off their dinghy. This is ABC News. Private sector hiring exceeding analyst expectations last month.
The ADP National Employment Report counted a record 122,000 new positions created in May, with employers of all sizes hiring. ADP says small companies, those with fewer than 20 employees, accounted for 49,000 of the new jobs, easily outpacing companies with over 500 workers.
ABC's Jim Ryan. 7 months after President Trump commuted his sentence, former Republican Congressman George Santos facing a new federal investigation over suspicious bets placed with a prediction market platform.
Back in February, Santos released this video.
I'm going to be there for the State of the Union in the gallery, guys.
At the time, Kalshi was taking bets on who would attend President Trump's State of the Union speech. Sources say Santos placed wagers tied to his own attendance, but during the address, he posted, "Watching State of the Union from an airport TV was not part of the plan." By skipping the speech, sources say he pocketed tens of thousands of dollars.
ABC's Sophie Flay, Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
A massive fire is now under control in the Redmond area, but first, KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. The crash on southbound 405, this one is near Linwood, has finally cleared. Traffic is still pretty rough out there, though. It'll take you about an hour and 10 minutes from Linwood to Bellevue, 50 minutes Linwood to Seattle. Renton to Bellevue is about 45 minutes right now. The Valley Freeway is making some progress. It's less than 40 minutes right now, 55 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. This traffic report is brought to you by the Seattle Mariners. Don't miss firework nights all summer long, presented by T-Mobile. The next show is June 19th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. Investigators are looking into a large fire that burned 15 vehicles and 2 large buildings at a landscaping company near Redmond this morning. A spokesperson for Eastside Fire and Rescue tells KIRO 7 TV crews had to work around a weak fire hydrant at the scene along Redmond Falls City Road.
The water pressure wasn't really what we needed to fight the fire, so they had to bring in water to the scene, which slows down a firefight.
The 15 vehicles burned looked to be mostly work trucks. No firefighters were injured. There's no word yet, though, on a cause of the fire. A death investigation is underway in Kent after officers found a young woman unresponsive early this morning. Kent police were called just after 4 o'clock to the 400 block of Alder Lane for reports of shots fired and arrived to find the woman with significant injuries to her head and face. The woman died at the scene. Investigators are working to determine a cause of death. Downtown Seattle's Clean and Safe ambassadors have a new home base. The Downtown Seattle Association's John Scholes unveiled a deployment center at a once boarded-up corner on 3rd and Pine. He says they want it to be a community hub.
We know we're stronger together. We got a lot of challenges in our downtown, no doubt. We've made a lot of progress. We're going to confront those challenges. We're going to have more progress through strong partnerships.
More than 160 ambassadors work the streets 7 days a week, and they'll be front and center when World Cup crowds arrive later this month. Longview leaders say they're stunned to learn that no state or federal agency is responsible for inspecting the white liquor tanks that erupted last week, killing 11 workers at the Nippon Dynawave packaging plant. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson reports.
Both Wilson and McIntyre say they want to wait for the investigation before looking to change any laws.
When I get back to Olympia in January, I think the mandate will be clear when the investigation's done.
Do you think there should be regulatory inspections?
I think that there should be. This instance should require us to look much deeper into the above ground storage tanks.
So the state's investigation is just one investigation looking into the blast. The U.S. Chemical Safety and Hazard Investigation Board will also be looking into this, and their investigations can take years.
For your KIRO News Radio weather, it's much cooler out there today. We've got clouds with a mix of sunshine. It'll be about 70 as the top degree today. Right now, it's about 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Hey everybody, it is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday. Oh, it's already hump day. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Good morning to you, Ursula.
Good morning. And, we wanted to start out with some happy news, too, for this Happy Wednesday. Coming up at 10:30, we are going to get an update. Do you remember when we were telling you about the thieves who destroyed the HVAC system at Taproot Theater, Seattle's beloved Taproot Theater? They were concerned. The last time we spoke with I believe she was the artistic director, she told us that they were worried about whether they could continue their programming.
Right.
Because of these copper wire thieves, right? Who had ruined things for everybody.
Right.
Well, there is a positive update, and she's going to be joining us coming up at 10:30. As always, we invite you to join us on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. That's 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO.
What's new at 10?
So we've told you that Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is not going to be able to produce the promised 500 new shelter beds in the city before the World Cup. But there is a coalition of nonprofits that has been working on cleaning up Pioneer Square specifically, and they're trying to prove that there is a better approach than just doing these sweeps. So this is a story out of the Seattle Times, and the effort is being led by Purpose Dignity Action along with the Downtown Emergency Service Center and the Salvation Army. The Downtown Seattle Association is also taking part in this. But in just a couple of weeks, these groups have moved nearly half of the 40 chronically homeless people in Pioneer Square into shelter, and also have reunited several with family members, which ultimately is what you want, right? To get them into housing or longer-term housing. And what is different is the approach that they're using. So again, rather than just giving whatever bed happens to be available, these folks are actually pooling together all the shelter resources and matching people to the level to match where they're at. So if they need mental health help, they're going to help get them that. If they can work with a tiny home or a private room or addiction treatment or intensive care management, they're able to match them. And they're saying basically that this approach has a better success rate. So they say they've used this model before, and they've been able to get closer to 80% of the people indoors during previous downtown and state-funded outreach efforts. But of course, there's a catch to all of it, and that is it's a lot more expensive when you're going to be doing it, person by person, trying to meet each one where their needs are. And shelter's becoming more expensive. But that is what's happening right before the World Cup, trying to specifically target Pioneer Square.
I used to live next door. By the way, this is not a real story. Fiction. I used to live next door to this couple that would always have get-togethers, right? But they always left their window open. And at night, the husband would yell and verbally abuse the wife all the time, right? But then on the weekends, when they'd have their get-togethers and everybody's over, the husband was super nice to the wife in front of company. They would do things.
Just for show?
When company would come over, he would put on the show. We've been married 28 years, love of my life, high school sweetheart, and everybody would go away. And even there would be some couples that would get in the car and be like, how come you can't treat me the way he treats his wife? Like they were the gold standard. But then when everybody goes away, it's back to, air quotes, normal. You guys know where I'm going with this. Here we go. You got company getting ready to come over. And so we got to make it look a certain type of way. So it's all hands on deck. And we're going to get everything we can. We got to clean some stuff up. We got to get shelter beds going. We got to bring in all these teams. We got to all do it all. We got to get it done before June 15th. And so my only question is this. Well, y'all know what it is. Why can't we treat why he can't treat his wife nice when nobody's
when no one's looking? Yes, exactly. Maureen in the 253 just texted in. Why does it take the World Cup for the homeless to be housed? Where is this kind of energy? All the time. And by the way, as someone who now is spending much more time in Lower Queen Anne, the Lower Queen Anne neighborhood, because my sons live there, I think a lot of what's being swept and not being dealt with appropriately, some of the folks who are truly drug addicted. I mean, my sons have showed me the alleyways where the tinfoil is all over the place and people are doing the drugs out in the open.
That was the plan. The plan was to go do sweeps so they disperse into other neighborhoods.
And that's what's happened.
Is that a good strategy?
No, exactly.
So
no.
the next time somebody talks about stirring a pot and dispersing folks
Former King
other
County
places.
Sheriff. Yeah, John Urquhart. Yes. In any case, I think you're exactly right. I like this. I think this approach sounds like it's working. If I'm to believe everything that has been presented as told to the Seattle Times, it sounds like it is a labor-intensive thing, but that's what it's going to take. It's not just get it out of my sight, but actually try to have some longer term and actually get them to help and get them to help themselves so that they don't stay in this constant cycle of homelessness and drug addiction and mental illness. Okay. We're never going to be able to get rid of that whole Seattle is dying phrase, are we?
Why not?
Because sometimes we say Seattle is dying, then it's Seattle's booming. We hear these competing narratives all the time.
Right.
And so what do you make of this? Because according to new census estimates, Seattle is 5th in the nation for the number of people who have moved here, like in terms of population growth. The city has just added more than 11,500 people in a single year. So if we are dying, we are also still one of the fastest growing big cities in America. And what you might not know, and again, this is from the Seattle Times, much of the growth isn't coming from within America. It's coming from people moving here from other countries. So King County actually lost more than 9,000 residents to other parts of the United States last year. But at the same time, we've gained more than 28,000 residents because they are coming from other countries.
28,000 for King County.
For King County.
Right. Now, we're talking about Seattle specifically. And right now, Seattle is in the top 5 in the country. There's a lot of cities right now where there has been a decrease in population. Seattle is also the only city on the West Coast that's in the top 10. You know, Ursula, when I was preparing for the show today, something came over me. And I thought, it's barbecue season coming up. There's going to be a lot of, matter of fact, you have a lot of get-togethers, right? Have you guys ever gone to get-togethers and then, no, I'm being serious. Have you ever gone and been a part of that get-together and then that one person's like, yeah, so I heard this. And then you're looking at them like, where did you get that information from? So I decided something today, Ursula. I said, you know what? Everybody's not going to like a G. Scott. I get it, no doubt. But on my watch, the things that come out of my mouth, I'm going to make sure that when you're at that barbecue and at that place, you know what the hell you're talking about. Mm-hmm. So in that way, you don't say things like, yeah, Seattle's dying. Everybody's moving out of Seattle. You see, a lot of times you say those things because your favorite person that you hear every day tells you that. And they tell you that because it's based on an agenda and a narrative. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to give you an agenda. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to tell you what the census says. Mm-hmm. The census says 11,572 people, new neighbors are here in Seattle, period. Until further notice, the next time they do this census drop, that's what it is. So the next time, I don't want you to be like, hey, you heard the Gee and Ursula show, and on this show, they said Seattle is losing people. It's not. It reminds me of the Central District years ago when they told you the Central District was dying. They told you 23rd and Union was dead. They told you 23rd and Cherry was dead. They told you don't buy there. They told you to go away. And then you know what happened? All of a sudden, you start seeing headlines saying up-and-coming neighborhood. You start seeing prices be unaffordable. What happened, Lois? What happened? I thought Central District was dying.
Well, yeah, new money came in, and suddenly it became a very hip place to live. Like Columbia City is one of those. I think. Yeah, have you been there lately?
When I first moved here, Columbia City used to be my jam for door-to-door sales. Okay. I know Columbia City very well.
And you know what I'm talking about. I mean, you want to check out some of those restaurants. You want to check out some of those businesses. Mm-hmm. It's like hip.
Ursula, I talk about three-card Monty all the time. And what do I say? Stop listening to what they say and watch what they do. Mm-hmm. Ignore the headlines, right? And look for the moving trucks. Ignore what people say and look for the cranes. You don't have to believe what I say. We
don't have as many cranes. We don't have as many cranes. I mean, downtown's hurt.
Now compared to the rest of the country.
Yeah, but absolutely. And where are people moving from? They said from other countries. So other countries are still saying there's a lot of opportunity here. And what is it? A lot of it is still, even though there's lots of layoffs, there's still many tech jobs, still many great paying tech jobs.
Oh, and then later on this week, you know what we're going to be talking about? We're going to talk about data centers. And we're going to be talking about them coming and where they're going. Hey, Seattle is reshaping. Ursula, when you go to the gym, you've been going to the gym. Shout out to you. When you go to the gym and you're lifting weights, when you lift weights, you know what you do? You break down the fibers. There's tears in the muscle. So in order for it to grow, you need to have a decrease and a tear. There's a tear in Seattle right now. Don't worry. It's going to be, and all of a sudden, Seattle, it's one of the best places. Come on back.
Well, speaking of which, again, I just want to say shout out to the Seattle Times. Important to have local journalism, by the way. Another story in the Seattle Times today, and the headline is Defense Contractor Bets Big on Seattle. So this is the defense technology company Anduril. They already have offices in downtown and in Bellevue, but now the company is investing tens of millions of dollars into the former Foss shipyard near the Ballard Bridge. And that is where autonomous vessels for the U.S. Navy are going to be built. The company also has more than 100 open jobs in the Seattle area. So this is a company that is valued at more than $60 billion, and they're moving here. Or expanding here, I should say. Because we give a lot of energy to Starbucks expanding in Tennessee, but there are companies that are still choosing to expand here. Mm-hmm. And basically they're saying Seattle is still one of the best places in the world to find engineers, to find skilled workers, and to innovate.
New normals. Right now, if you own stock right now and you have a stock portfolio, you tell me what is the number one driver in the stock market right now. It's two letters. It's AI. So if it's AI and that's the number one deal that's happening. A lot of technology. No disrespect to Starbucks. Now, this is not a shot at them. I'm saying the future could potentially look different on what is the leading businesses in this state. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like nobody.
But everyone needs to embrace that idea.
Ursula, when you first started here, you were here almost 38 years ago.
Started in 1988, September.
Who were the big dogs on campus in the state when you first started?
It was
Boeing, Weyerhaeuser,
Microsoft,
and all those things. Yeah. Not to say that there aren't big dogs now,
but
they weren't prepared for the biggest dog. The biggest dog is Amazon. Ain't the big bad business, not bad, good, however you want to do it, powerful.
Yes.
Moved in on the block. Nobody saw it coming. That's the future, y'all. We don't know who the big company's going to be next. So while we're sitting here talking about the Starbucks of the world, don't worry. Seattle is still a beautiful place. People want to be here. There's a reason why international folks are moving here.
True. It's almost like you and I should work for the Chamber of Commerce. Because sometimes do you feel like we're the ones that are trying to go upstream?
No,
we're still trying to, hey.
Well, the thing is,
I think we recognize that, yes, we've got our warts. We've got some huge issues. But ultimately, it's still a great place.
Well, Ursula, we just respond to what the facts are.
Yeah.
So when people tell you that Seattle's dying, now, I got to remind you of something. The same people that tell you that Seattle dying, these are the same people that have made their money in Seattle. The same people that live in Seattle. The same people that work in Seattle. So you made your money, you live here, and you're telling the rest of the world that Seattle's so terrible. So I have a simple question. Why in the hell are you still showing up to the funeral? If Seattle is dying, why are you showing up to the funeral? I don't get it. Make it make sense, Lois.
Because there is also money to be had to fuel that narrative. That's why.
You shut me up.
Okay, I do need to bring something up because this is a case that still hasn't been solved. So I'm going to bring up the murder of 17-year-old Amar Murphy Payne. Remember, 2 years ago, he was shot and killed in the parking lot at Garfield High School. And in recognition of his life, the Seattle City Council declared yesterday as Amar Murphy Payne Day. And his father, Aaron, spoke before the council with a reminder that gun violence can come any day at any time.
I challenge people to close their eyes and think about anything that you love, not only your kids, but if it's your kid, think about dropping them off at school and never seeing them alive again.
And just a reminder, even though there were dozens of witnesses and there were there's video footage, blurry, but still there's video footage, no one has been arrested. And Aaron Murphy Payne called out the city council and the police department, not only on behalf of his son, but also for the families of other gun violence victims.
But as far as the job that you guys have to do, the city has to do, and they owe everybody else that's walking out here supposed to feel safe, there's a murderer still walking. And there's a lot of murderers still walking around here, and they're committing multiple murderers. And there's a lot of families that are sitting without that door shut. I don't think about that young man in Amar's life he took. I think about him possibly taking more.
First of all, I had an opportunity, I think, a year ago to have a phone conversation with Aaron. Great brother. First, my heart still goes out to, and prayers goes out to he and his family. The next thing, Ursula, that I want to say is this. 2 years is crazy.
There are people who know exactly
what
it
happened
was.
in broad daylight. They saw this. But let me just take this time to just do this. I truly believe in my heart that Seattle Police Department wants to solve this.
Oh, yeah.
I also believe that the new chief, Sean Barnes, he wants to solve this. But there's sometimes, and you can hear also when Aaron's talking, besides his comments towards city council and to the police, he's also talking to people about softening their hearts, about how time gets to make you wanting to talk. Because remember the rules, everyone. If you're a teenager here, you don't have to talk to the police. There's people that know what happened, but there is a wall that law enforcement can't pierce through. So law enforcement needs help too. And the only way law enforcement gets help is if there is a softening of hearts and a change of heart to make people say, I'm ready to talk. Mm-hmm. If that never happens, I'm going to say the quiet part out loud, y'all. If the softening of hearts never happened, this case never gets solved. There it is.
You're right. You're right. Because there were so many witnesses.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show. Ursula, what did you say? Oh, we got good news.
Yes, we do. We got a guest coming up.
We got a guest coming up. You guys remember that HVAC system that we talked about with the Taproot Theater and the damage? It's always good to bring up some good news. That happens next, Gee and Ursula.
KIRO Newsradio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, I understand there may be a news story coming out.
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO Newsradio. 97.3 FM.
My friend Jonathan from DUI Hero says DUI arrests increase around the holiday weekends and into the month of June. So if you or someone you know is pulled over for DUI, contact DUI Heroes immediately. They'll defend the person and not the mistake. DUIs can be very complicated, but there's always a person behind the action, a person who needs help getting their life back together. That is what DUI here is here to do. DUI Heroes, your DUI defense specialist, 1-800-DUI-HERO. That number is answered 24/7, DUIHeroes.com.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you. Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org, sponsored by Washington Realtors.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions. D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes owed to the IRS. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, you may now be eligible for relief through current IRS initiatives for struggling taxpayers. In some cases, taxpayers may qualify to reduce as much as 99% of what they owe. You may already be experiencing wage garnishment, liens, levies, or audits and be unaware of this important information. Call Guardian Tax now to see what relief you may be eligible for at 800-404-7986. By taking action today, you may be able to stop all collections and resolve your tax problem before your tax problem gets worse. Tax experts are standing by to review your case and fight to slash your debt dramatically. Don't let your tax problem get worse and miss this time-sensitive opportunity. Check your eligibility with Guardian Tax now. Call 800-404-7986. 800-404-7986. That's 800-404-7986.
This baseball season, Home Comfort Alliance is changing the game. John Curley here. Get the price of a new heating and AC system in just 60 seconds on your phone with no pressure, no waiting. Just a few questions and you get a winning personalized price. That's a home run. And if your system is over 12 years old, it could be costing you up to 20% more or could soon fail. Score a personalized price for a new system in 60 seconds at HomeComfortAlliance.com. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance.
Hartley Wilcox here. For over 100 years, my family has been committed to doing what's right. We believe food should be honest and wholesome. At Wilcox Farms, that starts with caring for our hens. They roam healthy pastures and enjoy a diet of organic grains and flaxseed. Why does that matter? Because what hens eat determines the quality of the eggs you eat. Our nature-first approach means vibrant golden yolks, richer flavor, and higher omega-3s for your family's health. When you choose Wilcox, you're not just buying eggs. You're supporting a farm that values animal welfare, sustainability, and community. It's real nutrition, real care, and real value. So next time you're at the egg case, look for Wilcox Family Farms eggs. Taste the difference that starts with what our hens eat. Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
There's nothing so special as June in a Northwest garden, and it's a great time to get to Sky Nursery and plant before the summer heat. Explore Sky's colorful tapestry of trees and shrubs, veggies and herbs, fountains, hanging baskets, and more. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store. skynursery.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest-running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. For 34 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists, too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. A new wave of strikes between the U.S. and Iran. The Pentagon says it shot down several Iranian drones targeting U.S. forces in Kuwait. ABC's Karen Travers tells us what these attacks mean for peace talks.
In a new podcast interview that was released today, the president has said he hadn't made up his mind about making a deal with Iran or potentially going back to major combat operations and major strikes against Iran. He was asked what that would do. He said it would achieve certainty. But I do think it's important to underline here. We've heard the president repeatedly, every time he talks about this situation, say that Iran's military capabilities have been decimated. But what we see with these strikes overnight show that they still have capabilities to carry out something that can have deadly consequences.
The Longview community gathered for a benefit concert Tuesday night honoring those affected by the deadly chemical tank rupture. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu was there.
According to organizers, 800 tickets were sold, netting about $35,000.
So proud to be here that you guys rallied around this concert.
Everybody knows someone who's been affected. It's been really hard. Everyone wants to do something. So it just came together. We thought, what could we do?
The show came a week to the day after a chemical vat ruptured at Longview's Nippon Dynawave packaging plant, killing 11 people. The trauma is still fresh, and the cause of the implosion is still under investigation.
Detectives have named the suspected shooter in last week's robbery murder of a 17-year-old in Parkland. 21-year-old Brandon Torres Mesa is now wanted by the Pierce County Sheriff's Office. We've posted his photo on mynorthwest.com. This is Deputy Carly Capetto.
Right now, our biggest concern is getting Brandon in custody. We do believe that he is armed, and we do know that he is fleeing his capture.
Detectives believe he killed Braylon Diaz after a group of people robbed the boy of his necklace and shot him in front of his girlfriend on May 24th. 2 other suspects are also in custody. The News Tribune reports 26-year-old Alyssa Marie Vault-Barr was in court yesterday and is charged with first-degree murder. According to court documents obtained by the Tribune, she was the driver. Her bail is set at $1 million. Her boyfriend was arrested as well, but has not yet been charged at this point. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. The struggle on the roads is real right now. There's heavy traffic. It'll take you an hour and 10 from Linwood to Bellevue, 50 minutes Linwood to Seattle. Renton to Bellevue is about 45 minutes. Valley Freeway is making lots of progress. It's about 35 minutes right now. Federal Way to Seattle will take you about 50 minutes. This traffic report is brought to you by Harborstone Credit Union. Earn up to $30 per month for just using Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today. Harborstone.com/cash. For your forecast, it's cooler today. We've got a mix of sunshine and clouds. Highs will be close to 70. Right now, it's 60 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Wednesday to all of you. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line 888-973-5476, 888-973-KIRO. If you were listening to us a couple of weeks ago, you might remember we reported on this crime that devastated a beloved local theater. In April, copper thieves climbed onto the roof of Seattle's Taproot Theater and ripped apart the theater's HVAC system. And even though they only made away with about $100 worth of copper, Taproot was dealing with a staggering $400,000 repair bill just as it was getting ready to celebrate its 50th anniversary. And shortly after the theft, we had Taproot's artistic director, Karen Lund, join us on the show, and she made a heartfelt plea for help, and the community stepped up in a big way. And Karen joins us now on the show again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, it's so much nicer to be able to talk to you under better circumstances. So tell us what has happened.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we have so much to be thankful for right now. Taproot Theater calls itself a theater of hope. And we really got to experience the full gamut of feeling hopeless and then feeling full of hope again. Right now, I can say that we are going to be able to go through the summer and have all the programming that we originally had set up is all going to happen as planned. And that's all due to the generosity of our community. And, you know, as I'm sitting here listening to the news with everybody else, it just feels so amazing to be able to bring something positive to you guys and say, you know, we had people step up in a way we never expected. We were able to meet our $400,000 goal. We had over 1,280 people give to us. More than half of that was people who were donors for the very first time to Taproot Theater. And as a result, we are now about 80% complete with the revamping of our HVAC system. And we just know now that we can get back to celebrating our 50th anniversary season. And if you want to come out and see what your dollars have done, I hope you'll come and join us for opening night of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which opens July 10th and runs through the summer. Come anytime and feel the cool, comfortable air of sitting in the theater and watching a show. Also, I just need you to know that 350 students are going to be enjoying the cool, comfortable air at Taproot as they take their acting studio classes this summer. I mean, can you imagine those 350 kids and their parents if we had to cancel those classes? And so the fact that all that's going to go forward and those kids are going to have the summer that they dreamed about having, it's just such a gift to be able to say to you, thank you for letting me talk to you the first time. One of the issues we had was we didn't know how quickly the city of Seattle would be able to move in terms of getting us permits to do the work that we needed to do. And because of appearing in places like this, we were able to get the word out, and the city was able to help us. Yeah. And we just have so many people to thank.
It's crazy how
including you guys. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. It's crazy how the city can move when they want to. Hey, hey, Karen. I was thinking about you. I don't not Taproot. I'm asking you, Karen.
Okay.
Tell us Tell us the different ways that this whole experience has changed you.
Look, we live in a very cynical age, and we live in a very cynical time. And when I first found out what was happening, my first thought was, oh, well, that's it. We're going to have to cancel our programs. I was too cynical to believe that that our city and that our community would help us in the way that they did. And I feel ashamed now that I was feeling that way, because not only did they respond, but they responded so quickly. And every note that we received was saying things like, hey, we see you. We may not attend your plays, but we know what you bring to our community. And we appreciate that. And you guys, I was getting, $25 gifts, $50 gifts, and then you'd get a really nice, large, $5,000 gift. But I got to tell you, those $25 gifts with the note of, I don't go to theater, but I know who you are and I know what you're going through and I'm with you. Those kind of things can't help but change you. And I have a sense of our city and what our city can do when it's up against it that I have never had before. And I want to, if I can, I want to share that with people. I want to share that there is so much good still in this world, and there are so many wonderful people who are who want to help and want to bring brightness. Yes, there are people who want to steal your copper and hurt you and harm your business, but they're likely not even thinking about you and your business. They have needs of their own, and they're thinking of themselves. But given the opportunity to do good, we have so many people around us who want to do good. And that was the lesson that I think I'm going to take away from this. And I need it at this time.
Karen, I see you even getting emotional about that as you. And first of all, I want to say you shouldn't be ashamed. It's hard not to get cynical when you hear that thieves damage a beloved theater to get $100 worth of copper, and it puts out a whole bunch of people and jeopardizes a program. And you're right. Too often we focus on all the negative. And when people came together, I love what you shared about people giving $20, $50, and it's great that there's also generosity in the thousands of dollars, but that people were willing to stop in their day and say, it's important for us to continue the tradition of theater and this particular theater too.
Right. And, we very much we're very much a part of our neighborhood. We're in the Greenwood, Finney neighborhood. We call ourselves Finneywood. And we are very much a part of it. And what affects us affects a lot of the businesses around us. So, so many of the neighbors, like I said, just wrote, hey, I'm your neighbor. Here's $100. I'm your neighbor. I live in the neighborhood and I care about you guys. And we're giving like that. And it was just so generous and so kind. And I got to tell you, my whole staff has been uplifted by that kind of generosity and care that people have brought to us. And all I can do now is live up to that, right? So now everything we do is like, okay, we got you guys, they're counting on us. We got to do the best we can at all times for this incredible group of people who have stood behind us.
Karen Lunn, Artistic Director for Taproot Theater. Karen, so grateful for that. You took the time to come out with us, and so looking forward to what's going to happen in the future. And
the show will go on.
And I got to tell you, the greatest thing, you said a lot of great things, but you said 3 words that I literally live my life by the 3 words you said. You want to know what you said?
Yes.
You said, we see you. There's so many people in this world that need to hear that because they get kicked down on. We see you. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Coming up next, Scenarios, Gee Ursula.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the recipient of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence and Excellence in Writing.
We can't let hatred become the air we breathe. It poisons us all. Our strength is in unity.
We thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's G. Scott here. Let's talk here for a second about the summer. Now, you know, the summertime is supposed to be about sunshine and barbecue and kids. But you know, them kids, they about to be home all day, and that grocery bill is diabolical. That's why I want you to know about Sunbucks and why our friends at Safeway are helping people get the word out. So if your family qualifies, you could receive $120 per child to spend on groceries this summer, food in your cart, and a little less pressure on your budget. There's no catch. There's no judgment. This program is simply about making sure that kids have enough to eat when school is out. Here's the important part. Many families are enrolled automatically, and a card might already be headed to their mailbox. But some families do need to apply, depending on income and where you live. So take a couple of minutes and check it out. Visit freesummermeals.org. That's freesummermeals.org. Safeway. Looking out for families this summer.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Jazz Alley invites you to experience the Brubeck Brothers Quartet, carrying forward a legendary jazz legacy with fresh energy and swing. Shows run June 2nd and 3rd. Tickets at jazzalley.com. Next up, Marcus Miller.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. We got the 11 o'clock hour coming up, and we also have a guest. Super excited. I think we're getting excited about the World Cup. And because we are, Team Egypt will be one of the first teams to be playing in the first match on June 15th. So we are going to have one of the owners from a restaurant called Kashari. Yep, they're going to be joining us at 11 o'clock. But right now, scenario.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
My mother-in-law is driving me insane. Said by about 80, 90% of people. No, I just added that. I'm sorry, guys.
I think that's high.
Let me start over. I can't be doing that. I got to stick to the facts. My mother-in-law is driving me insane. She treats my husband like a child. She insists on sitting next to him or opposite him so that she can cut me out of the conversation. I know she does it. She tells me that she's his mother and the closest person to him, which is why he confides in her and not me. Oh, drives me crazy. She has asked for a front door key, and guess what? My husband gave her the key to our front door. My husband just laughs it off when we discuss it. He's like, oh, yeah, that's just my mom. So I'm asking, how do I cope with this? 888-973-5476 is the Muckleshoot Cedar Resort text line. Ursula, before you go, I never go first. I'm going to say this real quick.
Do it.
You better just cope with it. Ain't nothing you can do.
Not wrong. No.
There's nothing you can do.
No, I disagree. Okay. Your husband needs to make a choice. And first of all, he needs to cut the umbilical cord because it sounds based. Okay, I'm just believing everything that's in this letter, right? So as posed by this person who's complaining. So if I believe everything there, I'm going to say, I hear you. I think you're right in that you should feel bothered that he's deferring to his mom. He married you. He did not marry his mom. He is an adult. He needs to act like he is a married man, and you can't just say nothing because it is going to eat you alive, and it is going to affect your marriage if there is a third person in the marriage, and that's the mom or the mother-in-law, and it happens often. The best thing to do is have a direct conversation with your husband and say, I'm not okay with this. This is a problem. Do not laugh it off. It is affecting our marriage, and this is how it is affecting it. I know you love your mom. I love your mom, but I am your wife. You need to talk to your mom. I would not suggest that she talk to the mother-in-law because that could blow up real quick.
Hey.
But he needs to be the one to recognize, he's too dependent on mom.
So here's the thing.
And he's an adult.
Let's say there was a stage. She first met the guy. Then they became boyfriend, girlfriend. Then they became fiance. Then they got married. You mean to tell me you did not find out that he was attached to his mom until you got married? No, I'm being serious.
No, well, I will say this. Through experience, I will say that things can change when you get married, when it becomes more serious, because sometimes there are mother-in-laws or people who will feel threatened by, wait a minute, I don't want to be usurped. I don't want to be completely replaced by this new woman. And it may have been different until you got married or until you have kids. Things do change.
Before you go, Chef, you know how they talk about single moms in this country? You guys know, you guys always talk about like the single moms. They always got the single moms going on. I would be careful telling some of these men that have grown up with single moms. Be careful is all I'm saying. Tread lightly. Proceed with caution. I'm just telling you, I'm trying to give you some game now. You want to do it. Your tactics wants to be more strategic. This isn't it's either me or her.
Oof.
Okay.
Well, and you have to know the situation.
Okay.
Obviously. But keeping quiet about it?
I know. I never said be quiet. But she said cope with it. Yeah. You're probably going to have to cope with it. You're probably going to have to live through it.
I'm going to make a sweeping statement, and I'm actually going to call out my own mom on the radio. I think that moms, there's a different level of attachment in the in-law relationship when a mom has a son. My mom said the other day to Gabby, I always viewed it as my job to be responsible for my son until he got married. And then it was the wife's responsibility. So she's not like that. But moms treat their boys differently in the in-law relationship.
Nick, what do you got, bro?
It's one thing to be close to your mom as the husband, and it's cool to have a healthy relationship with her, but I feel bad for the wife seeing the in-law being attached to the hip of his man from always sitting next to him, and now the key to the home is in her hands. You better buckle up, wifey, because your new mama has all access to showing up and showing out at you and your man's crib with or without any notice. Have a chat with your husband about making limits for when she can show up with the key, because at this point it sounds like she's got free reign to hop on in, even in situations you might not want her to show up in.
Again, I'm going to speak from experience and just say that if the husband does speak up and take care of it, it actually works in the long run.
Good stuff. Okay, coming up next. I'm super excited. World Cup is getting ready to get started. I feel like the Gee and Ursula Show is starting out on a good foot. Good Lord, yeah. The owner of Koshari Restaurant is coming in. As you all know, Team Egypt will be, do they say kicking off in soccer? No, they don't say that. Soccer match coming June 15th. Team Egypt is going to be playing against Team Belgium. That's going to happen. When next we have on the restaurant owner, Gee and Ursula.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 30% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation.
which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home in Washington, recent headlines might concern you. Talk of pocket listings or private networks where only certain consumers see certain properties are all over the media. Good news. The legislature recently passed a bill to protect you in your transaction. No secret deals, all listings available for everyone to see, not just an exclusive club of insiders. This means more competition, better offers, and fair access for all consumers. Learn more at warealtor.org, sponsored by Washington Realtors.
Digging in my yard, trying to lay a pipe. I hit a water line and now I have to pay a big fine. I should have called 811.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care? A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. New details in the hours-long standoff at a bank in Bakersfield, California that ended in the death of a suspect who said he had a bomb. Police say all 10 hostages were released unharmed. FBI Special Agent in charge, Sid Patel, identifying the suspect as Anthony Scott Searles Harris.
He was a 41-year-old white male who served in the U.S. Army from 2006 to 2007. However, he was dishonorably discharged for going AWOL. That's absent without leave.
Police are still investigating a motive. The Pentagon confirmed the U.S. military shot down Iranian drones overnight targeting a U.S. base in Kuwait, and Kuwaiti officials say Iran's strikes damaged the public airport. Secretary of State Marco Rubio back on Capitol Hill for a second day about the war in Iran and administration's policies. Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullin also testifying before a House committee. On Wall Street, stocks are down and oil prices are up over Mideast tensions. This is ABC News. The vote count still underway in California after last night's primary. L.A. Mayor Karen Bass having enough votes to be in November's runoff vote for mayor of the second largest city. It's still unknown yet who her challenger will be, and the race for the governor is still undecided. On the rapidly changing consumer landscape, the motto is adapt or die. Another legacy retailer learning that cruel lesson of the industry.
For 112 years, Neiman Marcus drew shoppers from around the world to its flagship store in downtown Dallas. With its elaborate Christmas displays and a gilded marble escalator connecting 9 floors of merchandise, Neiman Marcus Downtown was a link to a different time in retailing. In 2024, Saks Global bought Neiman's for nearly $3 billion, driving the company into bankruptcy. Now Saks says it'll close the downtown Dallas Neiman Marcus at the end of September. Jim Ryan, ABC News in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Severe storms continuing to target parts of the South and Upper Plains today. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
A massive plume of smoke was over Redmond this morning after a 2-alarm commercial fire. But first, KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. The Valley Freeway is running about 30 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. There's a few brake lights on northbound 405. It'll take you about 25 minutes out to Renton up to Bellevue. The Federal Way to Seattle Drive is about 40 minutes right now. And coming down out of Snohomish County, it's about 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle. Lake bridges are clear. This traffic report is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The paychecks will keep coming for the next 2 months to impacted workers at Nippon Dynawave Paper Mill in Longview. Union Representative Josh Estate says the company has agreed to pay employees through at least August 8th as the investigation continues into that deadly chemical implosion.
They have been nothing but transparent in communication with us with regard to how they're evaluating and understanding what the next steps look like so that they can be in a position to make the tough decisions with us at the table.
Estes says there was a misunderstanding about pay ending on June 7th. Meanwhile, investigators are looking into a large fire that burned 15 vehicles and 2 large buildings at a landscaping company near Redmond this morning. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports there were explosions at the scene, too.
A spokesperson for Eastside Fire and Rescue tells KIRO 7 TV those explosions could have been a number of things inside those 2 buildings gutted by flames just off Redmond Fall City Road.
In a building like this, fertilizer, could be gasoline, propane tanks. We're just not sure what those are.
Crews say they were dealing with a weak fire hydrant when they got to the scene, which caused delays. Those 15 vehicles burned looked to be mostly work trucks. No firefighters were injured. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
There's no word yet on a cause of the fire. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson unveiled a proposal to renew and expand the Seattle Transit Measure, and as you might imagine, her proposal is very controversial.
The existing Seattle Transit Measure, approved by 80% of voters in 2020, funds frequent bus service, streetcar operations, and free ORCA cards for those who qualify. Mayor Wilson wants to double the city's transit sales tax from 0.15 to 0.30 per $100 purchase.
Just to maintain the level of transit service that we have been providing was going to require a larger measure anyway, because the cost of everything is going up all across the board.
The mayor expects the measure to be on the ballot for voters to decide this November. In Seattle, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And for your KIRO News Radio weather, it's much cooler today, a mix of sunshine and clouds. Highs will be close to 70. Right now, it's 61 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Appreciate you all hanging out with the Gee and Ursula Show. No sun to be peeking, but don't worry. I think it's coming back. Good morning, Ursula.
Good morning. Yeah, we hope so. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line is ready for you. 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. And let's get to it. We've got some guests in studio.
Top stories at 11.
On the Gee and Ursula Show.
So less than 2 weeks from today, Seattle is going to be hosting the first of 6 World Cup matches. We're talking about Team Belgium facing off against Team Egypt. And G is going to be a big part of the World Cup festivities as MC. And we've talked about it because this has been something that we've been talking about for the last couple of years now. But now we're just not even 2 weeks away. Mm-mm. And if you're still having a hard time getting excited about it, or maybe you don't understand the whole hype around World Cup, you need to hear what this event means and how it is bringing people together across the globe. And to help us with that, Ayman Al-Masri and Amani Abuamo own the Koshari restaurant in Ballard, and they join us now live in studio. And I'm going to start with you, Amani. Tell us, this is something that you've been getting ready for a long time.
My husband has been getting ready more than me. To be honest, he has been getting ready even before we started Koshari. So he would be like, it is going to be here.
Yes.
And then we started Koshari, and then it's like the excitement is just doubled. So,
so what are you guys, Ayman, what are you expecting?
I'm expecting tons of people in town. I'm expecting businesses to do really good. I'm expecting a big boost. And I'm hoping for a few players to come and eat my food.
Yeah. You know what? It's almost lunch o'clock around here. At 11:30, I call it lunch o'clock. We get hungry. And seeing the two of you, knowing that you own an amazing restaurant, I'm already hungry. So let's get past the World Cup. Let's talk about food. Aman, I come to your restaurant, and this is what I want. I want you to give me or prepare for me a dish that best describes where you're from, and in this dish, you're able to describe it to me. What would I order? Tell us about that.
Okay, that's a great question. We're called koshari.
Okay.
And koshari is the national Egyptian dish.
Okay.
It is the most famous or the most consumed street food in Egypt. And pretty much around the Middle East now, it's become very famous. Mm-hmm. It's a naturally born vegan dish. You don't need to do anything to it to make it vegan. So, a lot of times when you advertise something and you say it's vegan, people think that you've substituted something for something.
Right.
Beer is vegan, French fries are vegan, So, anyways, it's naturally vegan. It's very, very healthy and hearty. Mm-hmm. It's a bowl that consists of rice, lentils, elbow macaroni, garbanzo beans, a garlic tomato sauce, and it's topped with crispy fried onions, and you can add hot sauce to it. And we have a sauce that comes on the side called dekka, and it's basically lime juice, garlic, vinegar, cumin, and the extract you get out of those is extremely delicious.
What? Aman, I can tell that your body language, when you started to describe this food, you started to light up. Tell us where this comes from.
I've been cooking for a long time, like at home, pretty much.
He makes my food.
So ever since I was young, even when I was back home and when I went to university when I was younger, believe it or not, international calls were very expensive, but I was in London and I would call my mom in Egypt, in Cairo, to ask her to walk me through a recipe. And and we would spend 15 minutes of international calling time talking about how I'm going to make a certain dish, and I would, get up and do it and pretty much have my college friends come around and eat. So I've been pretty much in the kitchen for a very long time. I never thought I would take it on commercially. It's a different story. But when I did, I wanted to bring something different to Seattle. I imagined the first person that sold pho, or the first person that brought sushi to the cut. Is something that's unknown, and nobody knows what you're talking about. But what you're presenting is delicious. Once someone digs into it, they're going to go, I want more of that. And so I started basically 3 years ago, and it was after COVID, because COVID kind of gave everybody a time to sit back and take a break and, okay, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
And so that's exactly what happened. And I started by doing outdoor events like farmers markets and events in September of 23. And 1 year later, we met up with the cafe owner where we are open right now. And the relationship just started. They opened the morning, we opened the afternoon. And from there, it's just started growing. I have recently joined the Seattle Culinary Academy to try and sort of add to my knowledge of kitchen and culinary work. And so that's pretty much...
I definitely want to add something here.
Yeah.
So Ayman and I got married 4 years ago. Okay. And one of the times where I fell in love was not only with Ayman as Ayman. It was interesting because it was funny, kind of. So he was talking to me, and then he told me that he was making ful madammas. So ful madammas is a fava bean thing, and it's something that is also vegan, and it's so much loved back home in the Middle East and stuff. And I'm like, could you send me some pictures of what you're doing? So he sent me something, because it's not only the ful madammas. He cut the tomatoes and the onions to put them on the top. And I was very interested to look at how neatly they were cut and how organized. And I mean, the tomatoes next to each other, same size, same look, fresh, the onions the same way. And I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, ooh. Cutting is so sexy here.
So I want to bring back to the World Cup, though, because you were talking about, you hope it gives you a big boost. How important is a boost? And I'll start with you, Amani. How important is a boost like having an event like the World Cup for a restaurant like Koshery?
Exposure, absolutely. So we've been doing the restaurant for the past, we're going to get to the 2-year threshold on September of this year. But we just started getting really known in Seattle and around, like in Washington State for the past couple months mostly. And it's still local, no matter what you do. But exposure would be really great because if you get Egyptian people, which we actually happen to have them, and they try our koshery, which is not only compared to the commercial-made koshery back home, but it's even more like the real homemade, clean, yet super yummy koshery. So if you get these people come from outside and they try your food, exposure it's a period of time to get those exposure, make more sales, but at the same time, local people will get to know you more. So it's absolutely, given other examples of other businesses, that's a beautiful boost.
And at a time like right now, when we're dealing with all sorts of things with the economy and things going on specifically in this region too, how important is that, Ayman?
It's extremely important. I mean, the city is reviving. You see the city. I mean, we live downtown, so we've seen how dead it was, the COVID, the corona years and all that. And now we see that come back, and there's traffic. The food trucks have people lined up at lunchtime. South Lake Union is packed with people walking at lunchtime. All of that adds, but also the addition of the new convention summit, the new waterfront, all of these, how they've closed up Pike Place for pedestrians only. I mean, I think, businesses should capitalize, because I'm a big soccer fan all my life. And ask her, I've been talking to her about the World Cup 4 years ago, because I knew it was coming to Seattle. And I told her all my life I've dreamt to be in a city where the World Cup is going to be hosted, and now it's here.
I mean, it's not only talking, just to put things into perspective. He jumps on the couch. Literally. He's a Liverpool fan ever since he was probably in college. And literally when there's a goal, he jumps on the couch. I mean, if I happen to be asleep, I get up, but I know there's something like excitement. It's not like someone breaking into our house and stuff.
Yeah, I'm a diehard Liverpool fan, so matches in the UK sometimes start at 4 a.m.
Oh.
So I got to get up.
So June 15th is the first match.
Yep.
Team Egypt is going to be playing. You have been a soccer fan your whole life. And you said you've dreamed of this day, of living in a city where the World Cup's going to be, and the first match is going to be Team Egypt. Mm-hmm. Help us better understand how you really feel about being able to be this close to Team Egypt in this match.
Well, first of all, I mean, you got two of them, my favorite players on the team.
Okay.
They're international, they're worldwide known, and just being able to sort of go and watch a match where they're playing and support and go crazy with the fans, that is just alone a dream. My bigger wish would be if they wander into my restaurant to eat, thinking nobody would recognize them, and,
Right. So speaking of your restaurant, and maybe you guys can answer this. Okay, it's going to be exciting. You guys are in preparation for people coming to your restaurant. Paint the scene for inside the restaurant. Somebody's listening right now, and they're like, maybe I should go show up to that restaurant and show up to where they are around World Cup time. What can people expect when they come to your place?
Closed, because we will be at the Seattle Center.
But, yeah, we're also for a few days during the World Cup, we will be at the Seattle Center in a booth, because they have a food market set up, and we've been we were lucky enough to get a spot.
Okay.
And so we will be selling our food at the Seattle Center 15, 16, 17, and then we're back
23
open,
through 26
and then for the second match as well.
Okay.
With Egypt, we'll be at the Seattle Center.
See, I didn't know that. Ursula, did you know that? I didn't know they actually. So, can you explain what Seattle Center, what they're doing there? I didn't know that they had restaurants there.
So I can give a quick background here. Usually, I mean, away from koshery, Ayman and I have been the co-directors of Seattle Arab Festival that takes place at the Seattle Center every year.
Okay.
It's part of the Festal. And, I mean, we know how beautiful the events usually are there. So this year, because of the obviously because of the FIFA, the World Cup, they're organizing this big event for the World Cup, and they're going to have tons of food vendors around the Seattle Center from every place, and they reached out to the people that they know so they can be there, like more like food that is cultural linked.
Okay.
And this is one of the reasons why we're going to be there. And it was beautiful because Seattle Center people gave us those 2 slots to be around the days of where Egypt will be playing. So anyone that goes to Seattle Center, they're going to be watching the games on big screens, and at the same time, they can be just wander there, getting their favorite food and stuff, and get to know other stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's really, really big at the Seattle Center as well. So I'm not advertising for them, but it is going to be. They got big screens. They got big screens. They have food vendors. That's why I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun time.
And just for folks who are still like, you know what, it's just going to be a pain in the neck. It's going to be bad traffic. It's going to be, a lot of people here just adding to our. I want you to tell our listeners why you are so positive, not just the business thing, but World Cup in general, to have an event like this here.
Well, first of all, don't worry about traffic. Don't get in your car, okay? Seattle is a great place to walk. There is not a better place in the U.S. of A city where you can enjoy a walk, nice, wide sidewalks, amazing shops, lots of restaurants, lots of places to go. The weather's going to be great. You cannot avoid
and public
that.
Transportation. I'm a big fan of public transportation, and Seattle Center is so much obviously centered. So it's in a place where people can just go there without
Monorail,
driving.
There are so much you can. At traffic, I would not worry about traffic because the fun you will have just walking downtown, just going from one place to another. I could walk in Seattle without needing my car every day.
Well, one thing I've learned is we always have traffic here in Seattle, so we're pretty used to traffic. Before we get ready to close up, I just want to make sure I got this right. So there's people that's asking, and people say they've been looking for the type of restaurant that you guys have right now. So let's do this in 2 ways. 1, let's tell the name of your restaurant again, and then 2, tell the people how they can find you. All that stuff, and especially then number 3, tell us about that whole thing that they're doing at Seattle Center, because I need to be a part of that. So you name your restaurant and how they can find you. Go ahead.
Okay, so we are Kosheri. And we are open in Ballard on 24th and 57th. Basically, we're inside a cafe called Salt and Sugar, and we only open in the afternoons. Okay. Between 5 to 8.
If they look us up on the map, Kosheri is on the map, but it shows that we're inside that cafe.
And it's all on Google. The times, the hours are on Google. They're on our website. We're open Wednesday through Sunday evenings.
Okay.
We are a vegetarian vegan restaurant. The concept came from wanting to introduce something new, and we bring authentic Middle Eastern vegetarian recipes. We do not change anything. The flavor is there. We use tons of garlic, cumin, onions. So
disclaimer.
Yeah. So that's one. Okay. If you love that kind of food, please come in. It is delicious. We are going to be at the Seattle Center during the World Cup, 15th, 16th, and 17th of June, and then 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th of June.
And by the way, there are tons of other vendors, and the good thing about there, it's more like literally food vendors. Usually at these times, they not only deliver food, they actually deliver culture. So a lot of people show a real show of making food there. It's a lot of fun. So it's not only that you just go order food and go. It's not burger, it's not hot dogs, it's not typical food. It's really cool stuff. So it's just a win-win to people, families and stuff. Kids can just play. It's a wonderful place to be for everyone.
Well, you don't have to beg me for a good time. I'm really looking forward to it.
Ayman Al-Masri and Amani Abuamo, Kosheri Restaurant. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hope you have great success during the World Cup.
Thank you. We'd love to see you.
Yes.
And I love what Justin in Tacoma says. You can never have too much garlic. No, I'll take it. Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, coming up next here on the Gee Ursula Show, it's time for Agree to Disagree. Gee and Ursula.
This hour is brought to you by DUI Heroes.
KIRO Newsradio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including overall excellence and investigative reporting.
Just 29 hours later, Joshua Headley sent an unsolicited email to me writing, "I understand there may be a news story coming out."
Thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's Jason Rance here again with Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. Greg, there are some folks getting CP 504 notices. This is not something that should be ignored. You need a professional.
When you receive a CP 504 notice, alarm bells need to go off. And as much as you just want to push that envelope aside, because they know it's not going to be good. And it's not a very good notice to get, because it means the IRS is really coming down on you hard. Get help right away. Call somebody that knows what they're doing and get some assistance.
How have you helped?
We help them by understanding exactly where they're at. We interview them, we talk with them, find out. We'd like to know, how did you get here? And then we make a plan whereby we do our level best to help people with this struggle they are having now with their taxes.
Judgment-free.
Judgment-free.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn with None Better Tax Resolution. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
It started as a puddle.
Where?
In the shower.
Uh-oh.
Then the kitchen sink.
Started backing up?
Yeah.
I know where this is going.
Clogged up.
Right. No problem.
Beg your pardon?
There's no clog we can't clear.
You're Dan.
From Apollo Plumbing.
This is going to get pricey.
How about $83?
To clear my drain?
Apollo Plumbing clears main drains every day.
For $83?
83 or it's free.
What's the catch?
No catch. We'll even do a camera inspection.
Why's that?
It's the best way to find the cause of your clog.
And it's included?
No extra charge. Truth is, we hate clogs.
I don't love them.
Seen them all.
Ew.
I promise. There's no clog Apollo can't clear.
Guaranteed.
83 or free.
Goodbye, slow drains.
All it takes is an accessible clean out.
And Apollo gets my drains draining again.
You call, we come, it's fixed.
My heroes.
Just doing our job.
Thank you, Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
There is nothing so special as June in a Northwest garden. Hi, I'm Gina at Sky Nursery. I have been a huge gardener since my now adult kids were shorter than my lavender. This time of year, I like to be out in the garden checking on things, enjoying the afternoon golden hour. If you still have room for new plants, it's a great time to get them in the ground before the summer heat. Explore Sky's colorful tapestry of trees and shrubs, veggies and herbs, fountains, hanging baskets, and more. Sky Nursery, the gardener's garden store. Learn more at skynursery.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Are you looking for the best deal on a new home? Discover the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. With new home communities from Lacey to Stanwood, ranging from the low 500s to the high 1 millions, D.R. Horton has the right home at the best value for you. Your new home is within reach, so what are you waiting for? Learn more about the D.R. Horton Home of the Week. Visit drhorton.com and schedule a tour today. D.R. Horton, America's builder. An equal housing opportunity builder.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code THRIVE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code THRIVE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code THRIVE to borrow up to $10,000.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's cars with a K.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. The Trump administration drops its plans to create a nearly $2 billion fund that was billed as the Anti-Weaponization Fund. The fund would have offered compensation to those who could claim they were wronged by the Biden administration's Justice Department. More from ABC's Rachel Scott, who said Republicans were the ones who pushed back against the Trump administration.
All of this was part of an IRS settlement where the president agreed to drop his $10 billion lawsuit. But despite dropping the fund, the administration has made it clear it is still keeping an order that bans the president and his family from audits of already filed tax returns. Democrats labeling that blanket immunity. A judge in Florida is now reviewing the deal.
The Longview community came together for a benefit concert Tuesday night, 1 week after the deadly chemical tank implosion. KIRO 7 TV's Jack Bilyeu was there.
Organizers hope to give people a way to help while offering a distraction and a chance for reflection.
Everybody wants to help in some way, just trying to make it through.
The show featured a pair of Southwest Washington natives, opener Dakota Robbins of Toledo and headliner Court Carpenter of Kelso, who's now making a name for himself in Nashville's country music scene.
A federal judge in Seattle has sentenced a woman to 15 years in prison for leading a coast-to-coast drug distribution network and plotting to kill a Centralia police officer. Investigators say she sourced meth and fentanyl from a family in Mexico and shipped drugs from states from New York to Florida, even attempting to mail nearly 20 pounds of meth to Fiji. Agents seized multiple firearms and more than 80,000 fentanyl pills during the investigation. The hunt is on for a third suspect in the Parkland killing of 17-year-old Braylon Diaz last month, and Pierce County detectives want your help. Deputy Carly Capetto says they're looking for a 21-year-old named Braden Tesla Mora.
Brandon was the one that had the gun in his hand and was the one that robbed the young man of the chain around his neck and essentially pulled the trigger to shoot him.
A photo of Tessa Moore is posted on our website, mynorthwest.com. Meanwhile, a 26-year-old woman arrested in connection with this case was in court yesterday. The News Tribune says Alyssa Marie Vaught-Barr is charged with first-degree murder along with Tess Moza. Her bail is set at $1 million. Detectives believe she was the driver. Her boyfriend has also been arrested in the case, but so far he has not been charged. And now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. The Valley Freeway is running about 30 minutes from Puyallup to Renton. There's a few brake lights right now on northbound 405. It'll take you about 25 minutes out of Renton up to Bellevue. The Federal Way to Seattle Drive is 40 minutes right now, and coming down out of Snohomish County, it's about 50 minutes ever to Seattle. Lake bridges are clear. This traffic report is brought to you by Carpet Liquidators. Why pay retail? Save big with the largest carpet and hardwood flooring selection at Carpet Liquidators. 7 locations. They got you covered at Carpet Liquidators. And for your forecast, it's cooler today, sunshine and clouds. The high will be 70. Right now, it's about 62 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It is 11:33. You are listening to the Gee and Ursula Show. It is time for us to agree to disagree, brought to you by Guardian Roofing and Gutters.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Light rail through Seattle was shut down yesterday evening for about 2 hours after a driver drove up onto the tracks at the Mount Baker station. You actually have to drive up a ramp on the tracks to get there. It was parked right in front of where you actually get on. The pictures of this are amazing. You can check it out at mynorthwest.com. And the woman, the driver, apparently told witnesses that she was simply following her GPS directions. And we've heard a number of these stories where people end up in lakes or they drive down a road that all of a sudden ends. Whoops, the GPS told me to do it. I'm just going to play a hypothetical situation. Let's say she got hurt or there was some sort of, injury or damage caused because of this incident, G. Would you blame the GPS or the driver? Like, who's at fault here?
Lived experience is a term that we have been using this week. I was leaving, shout out to Skagit County, as I do every single year. I do an event up there for the Boys and Girls Club every single year in November. This was 2023. I was leaving at night in November. Now, I got to tell you, I tell you guys all the time, I be tired when I be leaving these events. I'm just auctioneered. Yes. I'm really tired.
You give it your all.
That drive is a beast. Well, this particular night, Ursula, I was just doing my thing and following the GPS. And I go, and there is an older bridge up there. And for some reason, it took me on a road that had me, go onto this weird, I'm like, I don't know if and I stopped. I don't know if I was supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And I looked around. I didn't see anything.
No lights, no cars.
It was no lights, no cars. So my point is, look, I'm going to speak for myself. It's happened to me before and other times where the GPS has led me into situations that I'm like, oopsie, oops. So I believe, Ursula, it can happen.
I believe it can happen, but are you going to blame GPS then if something
I'm not gonna,
negative happens beyond, okay, now I'm in a dark spot and I need to get out of here? But she's on light rail. I mean, I know what you're saying, and it can happen. But, I think that even though your GPS is telling you to do one thing, and I've been in that situation too before, if it doesn't make sense, I've got a thinking brain, and I'm not going to go the way that the GPS tells me. You know what I mean? Especially if you're talking about a light rail line. She literally landed on...
She's on the track.
The track.
Up on top.
Thank
God. The stations are not street level.
Yes.
Generally.
And didn't she have an out-of-state license plate?
I did not see that part. So I just saw the side views of the car.
I just want to say, obviously I can't blame GPS, but if you ask me what happened to me that night in Skagit County, I'm telling you what happened. I was following the GPS.
Yeah.
Now, ultimately, it's my fault, whatever happens.
Yes.
So if I go on a track or if I do this, it's ultimately my fault.
Yes.
But you guys want to know what happened?
Yes.
This is what happened. And I'm not saying I'm blaming, but I was following. Yes. So my thing is
maybe we need to share these stories more often, because maybe we're just giving up too much of our own brain and letting everything else, whether it's AI and just believing everything that you ask AI, and it's like, oh, let me just take it and not fact check it because it's got to be true. No.
Well,
actually,
I just got to tell you, if you're listening right now and you've never had GPS take you into a weird situation, that's awesome.
I know it happens. No, I know it happens.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's like it's not giving you the actual best route there.
When I did DoorDash, I told you about that one particular night. Yes. It took me into not a good situation.
It doesn't tell you when you're in a bad neighborhood.
Hey, wait a minute. And then you sometimes you ever go, like, it's awkward. There's a dead end. And so now you have to make a turn in someone's driveway late at night.
Yep.
So you want to turn your lights off because you don't want to flash their house, but then you look
now you look suspicious. It's a lose-lose.
I like what Paul in the 253 says, though. You are responsible for the tools you use. And yes.
I could totally see that happening to me. If I'm driving in a new city or in another country and I'm relying on GPS and you're already anxious, I could totally see myself doing that. All right, the Mariners are on a hot streak. They have won 8 straight games thanks to some crushing home runs. And, we got accused of something by Renee on the text line. And she basically said, oh, now you guys are reporting on the Mariners now that they've won 8 straight. So I got to ask you, is there something wrong, Ursula, with us deciding to tune in and report on the Mariners when they're doing well and to not suffer through every loss like the real fans out there?
We can't win because guess what? When they were on a losing skid, we brought it up. And people were telling us, oh, my gosh, you guys, don't be so negative. It's so early. So we're acknowledging. We admit. Okay, I'm going to speak for myself. I'm going to admit I have said it. I am a fair weather fan. So I always give credit to the folks like Nick who are there through thick and thin. And I just count myself as one of those fair weather fans. But again, we brought it up when they were losing, so why wouldn't we bring it up when they're winning?
Gee, bandwagon fans, what do you think?
No, I mean, I think the Gene. I mean, first of all, we're not a sports show. You know what I mean? That's number one. And number two, we did talk about him. We talked about him when they were struggling. We also, Nick, I know you remember, we talked about it. We said, hey, these are the times when maybe you should worry. I mean, we were talking about in April. We just finished May. At the end of May, they just went on this streak. We also, Nick talked about this. Nick even said, hey, even though they're struggling, the best thing for them, did you not say, is the American League was struggling?
Yeah, and to defend myself, I never panicked and said, oh, it's over. We're done.
No.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm thinking, oh, so if we praise the team in any sort of way, we're fair weather fans, so we can't be positive in any way? I mean, come on. Give me a break.
Ursula.
I guess we, by the way, I was at the game yesterday. Was I there because I was fair weather? As a matter of fact, I was past my bedtime. It was struggling to do that. You don't.
I got to respond to what you said because I give credit to the fans who suffer through everything. No, there should be no credit given to people who are like these uber fans of things and want to gatekeep other people's joy. I distinctly remember this experience in high school, telling someone like, "Oh, I love Nirvana," and they're like, "Oh yeah, I bet you don't know about Bleach. You've never heard In Utero, right? You can't recall all of these deep cuts." Like the people who are hyper dedicated, you don't get credit for knowing everything and following everything. It's okay to come in at whatever level you're at, whatever interest level. It's okay.
Well, 202 says the bandwagon is plenty big for everyone.
Amen.
All M's fans welcome at any stage. Thank you.
Good
and
boy.
I'm a fair weather one, and the weather is fair right now.
Let's choose joy. How about that?
You're not a real hunter if you don't use a bow.
Earlier today, I saw a text that came from Richard, and the Richard guy said, "Gee, how does your mind think the way that it does?" And to which I said, "Man, I just sent a text to my wife this morning about my mind," and I was just thinking, you know what? You guys are right. I'm wrong. The GPS thing. From here on out, I will not follow a GPS. I will use my brain, the same brain that I use when I am talking about other topics. So don't follow what someone else tells you to do. Follow what your brain says. You guys are right. Hey, coming up next here on the Gee and Ursula Show, text messages, feedback, and then words to live by.
KIRO News Radio is honored to be the recipient of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards, including Overall Excellence and Excellence in Writing.
We can't let hatred become the air we breathe. It poisons us all. Our strength is in unity.
We thank you who listen, stream, and watch every day. The driving force that pushes us to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
Oh, those spring showers after a wet winter, they can cause real trouble for groundwater, right? When the soil around your home finally becomes saturated this time of year, water can start making its way into your crawl space and you don't even know it. It's Mike Salkir, and groundwater in crawl spaces is even more common than you think. It needs to be addressed before it causes structural damage or, even worse, toxic mold in your home. If you're worried that groundwater is making its way into your crawl space, you know what to do. Call Crawl Pros and get that free corner-to-corner inspection, just like they did at my house. They'll come in, they'll climb into that crawl space because Crawl Pros goes where you don't want to. And if they do find water, they'll install a groundwater drainage system and a sump pump. They'll reroute all that water outside of your home's footprint where it belongs. So don't take the risk. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros. Have them come out for a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space. They'll even check your attic at the same time. If you're worried anything's going on in your crawl space or attic, critters, damaged insulation, or water intrusion, call Crawl Pros at crawlpros.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
My friend Jonathan from DUI Hero says DUI arrests increased around the holiday weekends and into June. If you or someone you know is pulled over for DUI, contact DUI Heroes immediately. They'll defend the person and not the mistake. DUIs can be very complicated, but there's always a person behind the action. A person who needs help getting their life back together. That is what DUI Heroes is here to help with. Your DUI defense specialist, DUIHeroes.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Power your drive with Mobil 1 Motor Oil. Buy 5 quarts, get $15 back, and score a fast and furious prize after rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly
Auto Parts.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know SunBucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Appreciate you all hanging out with us. What a great day it has been. You know, it's lunch o'clock, so I'm kind of hungry. I love talking about it like this. Ursula, text messages, what you got for us?
Well, let's start with the story about Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson wanting to double the transit sales tax. Eric in Columbia City says, how about collect transit fares? Don't raise the tax.
Kara, the cleaning lady, says, it's funny how Katie is trying to improve everything that applies to her needs.
That is a good observation. Scott Pelley being fired from CBS. Sue on the Cedar River says, on the topic of 60 Minutes, my absolute favorite show, we all need to stop Project 2025 and the growing control of the media. Freedom of the press is one of the foundations of our democracy. If news organizations start answering to politicians instead of the public, we all lose. It is time to speak up, pay attention, and push back against the insanity before it's too late. Sue, you're correct, and I'm fearful that we might be too late.
Hey, Rick in Tacoma, this answer nails it. The news is increasingly becoming just entertainment, as if we are mindlessly watching. I rely less and less on network news because of the bias and misinformation, and I'm not the only one. Thankfully, there are still programs such as yours. Rick, I appreciate that. Thank you.
And we talked about, what did your family cheap out on? What did you grow up with? What were you doing when you were growing up that has stuck with you when it comes to cutting corners and trying to find savings? Robin Puyallup says, gee, you grew up on Fruit of the Loom, didn't you? I sure did. They held up well for their price, and they still hold up well.
They do. Will from Pullman pulls a good one here. Growing up in West Seattle, my parents were on a strict budget to afford the neighborhood and private school. I remember when my parents cut out cable, and I was embarrassed to invite my friends over. I also remember being embarrassed with my friends because I never had the popular shoes, and I was afraid of being judged. It taught me lots of life lessons that I will pass on to my children.
On the efforts to clean up Pioneer Square ahead of the World Cup, Trish in Sammamish says, when my daughter was little and I cleaned my living room, she would ask, hey, are we having company?
Thanks for that, Trish. 206 says, growing up in the 60s up in Alaska, everything was expensive. Until my late teens, I thought it was normal to add a can of water to can of chili. I thought everyone mixed powdered milk with real milk. I didn't know how much better tomato soup was with milk, not water, until my late teens. My mom did the best she could, and we always had something to eat.
And then Glenn in SeaTac says, my dad ate PB&J sandwiches every day for lunch, and I found out years later he hated it, but he did it to let us have the bologna and cheese. And I did the same for my kids.
Seattle is booming and dying. Jerry in 206 says, Seattle is becoming most diverse employment area in the world.
Diane in Seattle says, Seattle's not dying, it's changing. Contracting in places, growing in places, change is difficult.
Great text, Diane. Blame the GPS or the driver. Sarah in the 360 says, driving through California, Waze took me off the main highway onto what started as a paved road, then turned into gravel, and eventually became a fire road winding through the mountains. I was in a Kia Sportage, surrounded by recently burned forests with no cell service, a steep drop off one side, and nowhere to turn around. I could only drive about 15 miles per hour. It turned into a terrifying 2-hour detour. Oops, but I made it out alive, and now I have a story to tell. Could you imagine if that happened to you, and then you call your significant other, and they say, hey, use your brain.
Yeah, I think you took offense to that, and it wasn't aimed at you. It wasn't aimed at, it's just, For example, this slowly driving onto the light rail, I mean, that had to take some doing.
Did you see all the text messages that came in talking about use your brain? The text messages were coming in about use your brain.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. 206, because there are a lot of people who are sharing that, if you followed GPS exactly, you would have been in trouble, including 206, who says, 3 times my GPS would have put me in the Wenatchee River, the end of a freeway in Renton, and in a slough full of mud. Do not trust your GPS. And GPS should remind people, this is only, somewhat accurate. I'm going to say, okay, hey, I've got some words to live by, and I wanted to actually share something that we heard on our show today from one of our interviews. We spoke with Karen Lund from Taproot Theater, and you remember a few months back, copper thieves destroyed their HVAC unit, which cost $400,000 to replace, but the community stepped up, and the show is going to go on.
We live in a very cynical age, and we live in a very cynical time. And when I first found out what was happening, my first thought was, oh, well, that's it. We're going to have to cancel our programs. I was too cynical to believe that that our city and that our community would help us in the way that they did. And I feel ashamed now that I was feeling that way, because not only did they respond, but they responded so quickly. And every note that we received was saying things like, hey, we see you. We may not attend your plays, but we know what you bring to our community. And we appreciate that.
Powerful. Nick, what do you got, brother?
Well, I'm sure most people still cheap out on goods like Fiscal Hawks, from some milk that isn't chocolate to that cereal not in a box. And you maybe took the road less traveled for those staples bought, but when shopping lists are done, you'll still survive with what you got. You get what you need. But I don't think that you need the soaps and shampoos at hotels, even if you save a little on the hair and shower gels. And don't worry, we won't call you a fair weather hotel fan if you don't take those mini bottles home. You'll still be welcomed back without any grief.
So, I don't take shampoos, but man, them lotions be calling my name specifically. I need that lotion. And by the way, you know how Ursula, like right now, if you guys go take a shower in the hotels now, they don't just give you the little bar of soap. They actually have like 3 things. They have the shampoo, the conditioner, and the body wash in the big deal dispenser. Well, the other day when I was in Vancouver was the first time ever in the history of hotel stays that they had a lotion dispenser. I was living in there like I was, give me that lotion.
And you like bring your own bottle?
Man!
Like trying to pump it.
I think my elbows are a little extra dry. I need to get back in there.
Hey, Nick, how you always know it's the elbow? Thanks, Ursula. Appreciate it. Thank you, Chef. Thank you, Nick.
You too,
we'll
man.
do this again tomorrow. Jake and Spike Show coming in next. Appreciate you for listening. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.
Hope you had as much fun as we have. So long, everybody.
I was standing in line with Mr. Jimmy. Man, did he look pretty ill. We decided
Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery, and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Ageless Living and asked about respite care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Ageless Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Ageless Living offers. That's agelessliving.com/spike.
If you're over 62 and feel squeezed by rising monthly bills, listen carefully. I'm Steve Teitler, owner of Best Mortgage. Every week I talk with seniors who love their home, want to stay in it, but feel more financial pressure every month. Property taxes are adding up. Insurance is up. Everyday bills are up, and for some, they still have a mortgage payment on top of all of that. Are you worried about outliving your savings? A reverse mortgage could help by eliminating your mortgage payment, paying off debt, and giving you breathing room every month. Now, let me be clear, it's not right for everyone. But for the right person, it can be a powerful tool. When you call Best Mortgage for a free consultation, you'll talk directly with me. I'll explain your options and tell you honestly if it makes sense for your situation. If you're 62 or older and want straight answers about staying in your home with less financial stress, call me today. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage. Honest advice you can trust. 425-649-6000.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger